magiliw, perlas ng silanganan, alam ng puso, sa titik mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, duyan ka ng magiging, sa manlulupit, di ka masisingil, sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mo bakaw. May nilang ang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal, ang kisap ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na nagtitinig, ang bituin at araw niya kailan pa may magdidilim. Lupa ng araw ng maraming pagsinta, ay langit sa piling mo. Aming ligaya na pag may mamapit, at namatay ng dahil sa'yo.
You may now take your seats.
The Republic of the Philippines, home of the heroes and the legends, a nation with a great heritage and legacy. Bravery and valor have created icons from the nation with brave heart, and the warriors from this incredible nation has raised the homeland flag high around the world. They have sacrificed themselves for the pride of their motherland. With every blow they took, they have always come back stronger, tougher, and have become champions and legends. Tonight, a new legacy will be created. Inside this modern-day Coliseum, 18 warriors from around the world will fight for the greatness. They will come face to face with what it means to be champions. The fans of mixed martial arts will witness the fighting spirit like never before. Fighters from around the world traveled thousands of miles to participate in the largest global MMA platform in the world. Long days of preparation, hard work, persistence have brought them where they are now. They were chosen. They proved them to be the best. To become champions, the best isn't enough. It demands more of everything, more of the hard work, more of the dedication, more of the commitment, more of the sacrifice. It needs the moment of self-discovery. It needs a family. It needs a team. Tonight, you will witness the journey of 18 incredible warriors through the storm of an unpredictable fight night. We, Brave Combat Federation, welcomes you all to the greatest experience of mixed martial arts. It's time to be brave. Brave 22, Storm of Warriors.
It's time! Welcome to Brave 22, Storm of Warriors! Please welcome your host, Mr. Carlos Kramer!
Mabuhay Manila! In the beautiful Philippines, welcome to Brave 22 Storm of Warriors, where tonight 18 of the world's most dangerous mixed martial artists risk it all in the cage for honor, glory, pride, and country. Brave Combat Federation was found by his vision of the Royal Highness Shaikh Khaled bin Hamad Al Khalifa, revolutionizing mixed martial arts. Also led by our fearless leader, the Hawk, Muhammad Shaikh. Brave Combat Federation is the fastest growing MMA promotion in the world, changing the landscape and the ecosystem and building a strong platform for fighters, fans, and media. Tonight, let's rip the roof off the Mall of Asia Arena as hometown hero and Team Lakai member Stefan Loman defends his Brave Combat Federation Bantamweight World title. I'd like to thank Brave 22 sponsors. Duo, our outdoor and branding partner. Abu Dhabi Sports, official broadcast partner in the Middle East and North Africa. SM Tickets, our ticket partner. ESPN 5, our official broadcast partner. Green Hill, our official merchandise partner. Belmont Hotel, hospitality partner. Dream World, our travel partner. Medical City, our medical partner. Smart, our network partner. Resorts World Manila, our entertainment partner. Tourism Board, our tourism partner. And finally, all professional MMA bouts are sanctioned by the Games and Amusement Board, the chairman, Abraham Khalil, Mitra, commissioners, Edward Trinidad and Mar Masagid, and Chief of Contact Sports, Mr. June Batista. Ladies and gentlemen, let's watch a video and see the vision of His Highness Shaikh Khaled bin Hamad Al Khalifa and how Brave Combat Federation in just 2 short years has risen to the top of the MMA world, and in 2018, the only promotion to host 12 monster events in 12 different countries.
A man's vision, determination, inspired a generation. It gave a new dream for the youth of his homeland. It created a groundbreaking revolution in the sports. When a vision is strongest, nothing can stop its far-reaching impact. And the vision was 3 powerful letters: KHK. And today, his vision is far-reaching. The valor and pride of his homeland is far-reaching. Today, his vision is defining the future of a new generation. A generation of heroes and of gladiators. Today is the day of hope for the hopeless. The day KHK will inspire the souls to fight back, irrespective of what they are and who they are. Many will emerge as heroes. This will be a new era of true heroes and gladiators. When he stood in the front and led them, they called him the Prince of Gladiators and Heroes.
Assalamu alaikum Shabbat! I want you to be loud. I want you to be proud. It's time to be brave. Are you ready? Salamat po to the incredible people of the Philippines. Mahal ko kayo. Before we begin, I have one question for you, and one question only. Handa na ba kayo? Without further ado, let's make history together and bring out our first warrior. From India, give it up for Satya Biharia.
So like relax, I'm spilling these rats. Cause when I ain't knocked and I was locked in a minute.
All right, Carrie Janess, here we go. The first Brave Combat Federation card of 2019 goes down in the beautiful Philippines. Walking to the cage, we have Satya Bahuria, a young man who on paper has an even record of 1-1. But records are deceptive. A wise man once said records are for DJs. So he's going to go in there. Already has one win in Brave Combat Federation by way of triangle choke. Not only did he choke his opponent, he choked them unconscious. His opponent didn't even have time to tap. That's an illustration of just how dangerous Satya Bahuria is.
I've spoken with this young man, and his devotion to this sport is total. He's widely considered to be one of the hottest young prospects out of India, but he traveled far from his homeland to find some of the best training in the entire world at Bali MMA. We believe he's found it, and he's going to put that on the line tonight.
One thing I always enjoy watching Satya Bahuria is how he changes levels. He has a nasty overhand right, and he uses that sometimes, uses his level changes to set up that nasty overhand right. So I'm really excited and interested to see if he implements that particular punch, which is fantastic for him in this fight.
You've seen that setup. I've seen that setup. I have to imagine his opponent's seen that setup too. How do you think it might be countered?
Well, it's going to be about distance management, really, for Joe Marpack. You know, he can't allow Satya Bahuria to get into that range if he's going to fight that game.
And let's welcome his opponent into the cage. From Team Lakay, Baguio City, the Philippines. Give it up for Joe Marpack!
The first representative of Team Lakay tonight. We've alluded to it. There are 5 fighters representing the famed Team Lakay. First up, Joe Marpack brings with him to the cage a record of 5 wins and 2 losses. Within the Brave Arena, he has 2 wins and 1 loss. 1 win by KO, 2 wins by submission, and 2 wins via decision. What I really enjoy when I watch Joe Marpack fight is the way that he chains his attacks together. A very solid striker with great fundamentals and footwork, but he blends it wonderfully with his wrestling. I really enjoy that aspect. We see that quite a lot from Team Lakay fighters, the way that they're able to blend all the aspects of mixed martial arts.
I'd like to throw out that the basis for mixed martial arts are widely well known. There's wrestling, there's Muay Thai, there's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Brave Nation, what you are about to see is a Wushu-based fighter. It's a slightly different flavor of striking. In the eyes of many, including myself, it may be superior to other much better known arts like boxing, kickboxing, and Muay Thai.
And also look at the caliber of training partners that Joe Marpack has had for this camp. You know, Stephen Loman is fighting, Jeremy Pagatu's fighting, Harold Benario's fighting, John Chris Corton is fighting. These guys are all rising at the same time, and as we know, a rising tide lifts all ships. Just a quick look at the tail of the tape. Very similar in all aspects. The height is exactly the same, the weight is fundamentally exactly the same, so this for me is going to be a very tightly contested fight. Nothing more to do but send it up to the 2017 and 2018 Cage Announcer of the Year, the inimitable Mr. Carlos Kramer.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, our first battle of the night will be 3 5-minute rounds in the flyweight division. Introducing your first warrior, fighting out of the blue corner. This man's a mixed martial artist with a professional record of 1 win and 2 losses. He stands 167 centimeters tall and weighs already 56.9 kilograms. Representing Bali MMA out of Bali, Indonesia, by way of India. Give it up for Satya Bahuria. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. This man's a mixed martial artist with a professional record of 5 wins and 2 losses. He stands 167 centimeters tall and weighs already 56.7 kilograms. Representing Team Lakai, and fighting out of Baguio City, the Philippines. Give it up for Young Marpack. Your referee is Tomas Bronde.
Phil, 5 times tonight we're going to have a bout where a local fighter, a Philippine fighter, takes on an international fighter. This is the very first one. What we're about to see is Philippines versus India.
Sacha Bahuria in the black trunks and Joe Marpack in the now famous Team Lakai red. Here we go.
Little feeling out period. Team Lakai fighters tend to allow their opponent to attack first, see what they've got.
Beautiful straight landed there by Joe Marpack. Just waited, got the timing of Sacha Bahuria. Oh, beautiful head kick. Stringing his attacks together wonderfully here in the clinch initiated by Joe Marpack. Now we're in the most testing, ruling aspect of mixed martial arts, the clinch here. The 50-50 position, one man has an overhook, one man has an underhook. Really just wearing on each other right now. Nice deep knee landed there by Joe Marpack.
Phil, this is one of the more telling moments in mixed martial arts. You can tell very quickly who the stronger fighter is when they're pushed up against the fence, because the stronger fighter, in terms of slow twitch muscles, in terms of fast twitch muscles, essentially is going to be able to put his opponent's back on the fence and hold him there.
We see Joe Mar, he's got the clinch and he's just pressing against Sacha, wearing him out, but he's creating little pockets of distance, and in those little pockets of distance we see him landing the strikes. Sacha Bahuria just reversed the position. Momentarily looked like he was in on a single, but beautiful counter work there from Pack. Again, just found a pocket of space and unleashed the knee. Sacha Bahuria said, I no longer want any of that action, and disengages.
Jomar does appear to be superior in terms of distance management. He appears to be playing the outside better and the inside. There are ways to defeat that, and one of them is brawling.
Oh, charging forward is Joe Marpack.
Filipino crowd loving this action.
Just ran at his opponent with a flurry of punches and instigates the clinch again. What I like that Jomar's doing is he's not settling in this position. Sometimes we see fighters settle in this position and get broken by the referee who separates them. But Jomar's constantly throwing something. He's throwing knees. He's finding little pockets of space.
Cute little escape by the opponent, Sacha Bahuria. Grabbed the head, twisted it, spun out. He's going to see if he can try his luck on the outside.
Just seen him changing levels there, perhaps trying to set up that big right hand.
Oh, down, overrocked! Sacha is still in this fight.
What powers of recovery by Sacha Bahuria.
Incredible recovery by the Indian exponent.
The break in the round coming at perhaps just the right time for Sacha Bahuria. Giving him a minute or so to recoup. A takedown could be huge at this stage. Elbows being landed by Pack.
Excellent warning from the referee not to strike the back of the head.
Really short, sharp elbows. Underhook being digged in there by Joe Marpack. Big takedown.
Down to the ground.
That's absolutely huge for Sacha Bahuria. What can he do from this position?
Joe Marpack is keeping his composure, catching his breath.
Sacha Bahuria hooking one leg.
First the hand, then the knee. Next will come the foot, and he's up.
Great work. Great defensive wrestling there by Joe Marpack.
Textbook rise off the mat.
Trying to dig in for a second underhook here. Space there for a knee. Big swing on the break from Sacha Bahuria. Marpack diversifying his attack there with kicks going low and high. Oh, digs into the body.
things we love about Team Lakai.
Oh, big
is how the
overhand.
shots can come out of nowhere.
Just as you say it, right on cue. And another one from Pack. Pack's really finding his distance now.
Bahoria's shooting, I think, out of necessity.
Or desperation.
Jomar can be taken down, but he thus far cannot be held down.
They look to elevate here.
Down again.
That's 2 takedowns for Sacha Bahuria. First round in the books, Kerrick.
First round ends. Great one. I call that one. 10-9 for Jomar Payak due to his outstanding striking. But big props to Sacha Bahuria for getting, as you said, not 1, but 2 takedowns in this, the first round.
So there we see just an opening leg kick and then some beautiful work from Jomar Payak, just dropping Sacha Bahuria and chasing with thunderous strikes. Big overhand again by Jomar Payak. That just goes back to what you were saying, Kerrick, about Jomar Payak having the ascendancy in the striking of this fight.
He does indeed. He's thus far managed to distance manage absolutely beautifully. I would go so far as to say thus far his distance management has been perfect. When he was too tight to the inside, he moved out. Too far on the outside, he moved in. It's been textbook. We've got short time now till round 2. What do you think the final words of advice in Sacha's corner was? Go for the takedown again?
Yeah, I think they're going to be... Yes, on paper, yes, they lost that round, but I think Sacha Bahuria is bound to have gained in confidence a little bit, knowing that he can take Jomar Payak down. But taking him down and holding him down are 2 completely different things, Kerrick.
Yes, they are. Round 2. I'd like to see Sacha's hands a little higher.
See Payak just stalking right now, trying to give Sacha Bahuria different looks, throwing a couple of feints to try and get some sort of a reaction from Sacha Bahuria.
One of the things that impresses me about Sacha is he does have a tough chin. He does not mind taking a shot if he feels like he can land 2 or 3 himself. Very unusual to see body attacks in MMA, but you do see the highest level of mixed martial arts technique in the Brave Combat Federation cage.
Jomar really looks like he's found his range now. Oh! Fantastic head kick.
Sweat went flying.
But I like what he did there. He was working the body a little bit, throwing the low leg kicks, bringing the stimulus downstairs. And just as he does that, fires off a picture-perfect head kick. Props to Sacha Bahuria for eating that head kick.
He's a bad man. Beautiful timing on the level change. Wasn't quite good enough.
Payak a lot more aware now of the takedown threat. He's keeping a very wide base.
Phil, of course, if you simply go for the takedown and don't strike, it becomes nearly impossible.
Yeah,
your opponent. Oh, headshot!
Return head kick and spinning back kick from Jomar Payak.
There's that wushu.
I think Jomar Payak starting to have a little bit of fun in there, Kerrick.
Jomar kicking low. I expect a high kick coming anytime soon. I'd like to see Sacha keep those hands up. That right hand's just a little low.
He's not remaining stationary, which I really like. Jomar Payak, every time he lands a shot, we see him on his bike, we see that constant movement. And it's not just back and forward, we see the lateral movement there.
Big power in those hands from Sacha Bahuria. One shot could turn this around.
He's really trying to find a home for that right hand. Hasn't quite landed it clean yet, but if he did, it would be not a great night for Jomar Payak.
In on the single.
Has he got it? Nice use of the wizard there from Jomar Payak. Uses it to get himself back up.
Takedown attempt not quite over.
Needs to be careful not to give up his back. Does the right thing by turning it in towards Sacha Bahuria.
Excellent clinch work by both fighters. Now we've got Bahuria pushing his opponent up against the wall, making room and landing a shot. No question, both fighters can play this game.
Second round a lot more even.
Satya has taken some clean shots to the head. They do have an effect.
Beautiful
Just like that
uppercut.
one. Those do have an effect on conditioning.
Absolute shovel uppercut there from Marpack.
Satya's arms may be getting heavy now.
Landed that uppercut clean just as Satya Bahuria was coming in.
They are, Phil. Satya's arms are slowing down. They're heavy.
Marpack might smell a little bit of blood in the water here.
Satya is a beautifully conditioned athlete, but when you do take clean headshots, it does take away from your conditioning.
Nice knees being landed in the clinch. Again, finds just enough of a pocket of space to land those points accumulating strikes.
Attempted flying triangle?
Pulls guard, interesting.
The arm is on the inside.
Marpack might just be looking to get that arm out onto some. Reversal work there by Satya Bahuria.
Although that flying triangle attempt didn't work, big props to Satya Bahuria for trying it.
Oh, high crotch
sacrifice throw! Down, up!
It's a knee to the head. He's on wobbly legs, Carrick.
You gotta go! Satya, don't wait!
Don't think Marpack realized just how much he had hurt Satya Bahuria in that moment.
The legs come back within 5 to 10 seconds. He's got him back under him. Shot behind the ear.
Big
again.
takedown. Big takedown in the closing stances of this fight. But look at Satya Bahuria. As soon as his back hit the ground, he went for the foot on hips. Has one butterfly hook in.
Looking for that triangle.
Really active Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu from Satya Bahuria. Needs to be wary of the up kick to
Really
Marpack.
active ground and pound from top. That's it. Round 2. Jomar Payak's corner has got to be happy with that performance in the second round. I would say it's now 2 rounds to 1. Do you agree?
I'd be inclined to agree with you there, Carrick. We see straight into the replays. We see Satya Bahuria going in on that high crotch, almost like a Hail Mary style throw. And then that knee just landed and followed up with strikes by Marpack. The greater fluency and the more telling shots were definitely landed by Marpack, and we see him there scoring a takedown at the end of the round, and that pretty much solidified the round as a 10-9.
I do love the fact, though, that although he was on wobbly legs, he did fall back looking for that submission. Phil, I believe Satya Bahuria's corner, I know they're brilliant at mixed martial arts. I believe they know that their fighter is down 2 rounds to 1. They're telling him to look for a finish.
Yeah, we may see Satya Bahuria go out here and perhaps be a little bit reckless, which may leave an opening for Marpack.
Let's go, Satya. Now we work. Yeah, that's it. I like this pace.
Yeah, we've seen Satya Bahuria there take the center of the Brave Arena.
Don't wait for him, Satya. You haven't got anything big. Go.
Attacking Marpack with a little bit more urgency.
Come on, the chains go. Yeah, good boy. Hey,
Go 1-2 attempt there.
Satya, let's go.
Satya Bahuria is absolutely still in this fight.
Marpack initiates the clinch, but we've seen how strong Satya Bahuria can be in that clinch position.
Conditioning may have withdrawn some of that strength from Satya. We're about to find out.
Good work from Marpack to keep Satya Bahuria pressured up against the cage.
Once he's established that crush against the cage, we may see him separate just a little bit, long enough to land a shot before coming in and pinning his opponent again.
Satya Bahuria tries to land a big knee of his own. Bahuria's corner screaming, get out of that position. Marpack trying to get in on a double leg takedown here, but just doesn't quite have it.
Interesting. Marpack earlier went for a leg trip, then the double.
That's twice we've seen Marpack throw that kind of kick. Oh, spinning back kick.
Nasty wushu technique.
A real fluidity and a beautiful diversity of strikes being landed here. And there's that shovel uppercut again from Marpack.
That was a beautiful side kick straight in the knee and then a spin kick to the midsection. shot as the double was attempted.
Good defense work from Marpack. Oh, beautiful crushing knee to the midsection. 3 minutes to go in our third and final round here at Brave Combat Federation 22 Storm of Warriors. Can Sacha Bahuria pull a rabbit out of the hat here?
Well, whether he wins or he loses, I love the fact that Sacha Bahuria is losing some of these exchanges, but not his heart. He is still 100% in this fight.
Oh, beautiful break there from Marpack. Just lands a wonderful right. A stiff jab. Marpack just needs to be careful not to drop the hands after throwing that straight. Sacha trying to land a fight-ending strike.
I think that's a wise move on his part at this point.
Oh, beautiful
attack, nice knee strike to the head.
Oh! Spinning back fist from Marpack.
Wushu is a thing of beauty.
Marpack looking very calm in there. And that's something that we alluded to at the top of the broadcast. The looser a fighter is, more often than not, the better they fight.
The mind's more agile, body's more agile, as we're seeing play out before us. Head kick! Marpack's got a mighty chin.
I think it's fair to say at this stage, Marpack does look like the fresher fighter. Sacha Bahuria is just plodding ever so slightly, trying to land that one big punch.
The ability to keep a strong chin like that in the third round is a sign of incredibly intense training in the gym. What you're seeing here is the result of years and years and years of the hardest work.
Then again, Marpack lands a strike and then just gets out of the way. And a big takedown from
This is going to be interesting.
Huge grounding point, but needs to be wary of the triangle. You see the guard of Sacha Bahuria just creeping up the back of Marpack.
May you see a little rubber guard attempt.
I'd like to see Pack posture here. Land some heavy grounding pound.
I think he'd like to, but I think Sacha is not allowing that to happen.
Momentarily shifted the hips there. Has a hand on the wrist. It really is do or die right now for Sacha Bahuria in this fight.
Superman punch may be on the way.
Beautiful straight right down the pipe there by Marpack. Marpack really just putting an exclamation point at the end of this fight right now.
And that is time.
What an opening fight. I think it's fair to say, you know, a real show of mixed martial arts dominance there from Marpack. What we saw him do was chain his attacks. He was winning the striking exchanges, but when he needed to, he landed fantastic takedowns. There's that spinning heel kick right to the sternum of Sacha Bahuria, who wore it very well. Then that takedown, again illustrating the diversity of this whole round mixed martial arts game.
I do want to give a monster shout out right now, but first, I am going to have an opportunity to give a monster shout out right now. Sacha Bahuria stayed in this fight 100%. Marpack did what he wanted to do. He landed devastating kicks to the head, to the knees, to the body, and yet Sacha Bahuria was in there fighting to the very last second. Big props to the man. I do think he's going to lose this fight 30-27. Phil, the judges are now adding up their scores. Very shortly, those scores will be carried into the Brave cage and read out to this adoring crowd and to Brave Nation.
Marpack looks happy with the performance, and of course he should be after a performance like that. A great way to open up the card here in the beautiful Philippines.
And there's our president, the Hawk. This is an organization by fighters, for fighters, and for the planet. The Hawk Muhammad Shahid is a retired fighter himself. He knows this sport from every side there is, and there's the roaring lion of pride.
Nothing left to do but send it up to Mr. Carlos Kramer for the official decision.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for these two warriors in our first fight of the night. After 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards. All 3 judges score the same way, 30-27, for a unanimous decision victory for your winner. Out of the red corner, from the Philippines,
Just as we predicted, a fantastic win for Joe Marpack, who now extends his winning streak in Brave Combat Federation to 3.
Who is Stephen Loman? Is he the next Manny Pacquiao? What makes him so special? Stephen was a small-town boy from Baguio when he first entered mixed martial arts. His passion toward the art of fighting was inevitable, and his unparalleled dedication opened the doors to Team Lakay.
From Baguio City in the Philippines, Stephen the Sniper Loman.
Rest is history, as he became the first brave bantamweight champion of the world. He is the only MMA champion from the Philippines who has fought internationally. He defended his title in Europe and Middle East, and became the only Filipino to win the hearts of international MMA fans. So, is he the next Manny Pacquiao? He may well be. Stephen Loman has held the Philippine flag so high and proud in many countries.
The guy is the longest reigning champion for BRAVECF. He's a very dominant one at that.
This time, he is defending his world bantamweight title for the 3rd time.
Just as a fighter, he's very entertaining because, again, he does start off slow. He does take a beating in the first round, but always, literally every single time, he's come back in adversity.
And for the first time in front of his home crowd in Manila.
Ooh, beautiful left hand.
Beautiful level change by Logan.
Oh, there it is. And here comes that rain.
Watch out as Philippines will witness the iconic event on March 15th.
And the champion's going to work.
Touchdown up and land the big shot. Trying to turn and get out of there, but the champion heavy hits.
Brave 22, Storm of Warriors.
I want to fight because, of course, it's. I think it's really like a passion. When you love what you are doing and you want to apply it in true fighting, that's what I wanted to. So that's why I love fighting. Mixed martial arts changed me from my inside and outside. Here in even outside, I developed me self-discipline, of course, in hard work and dedication through the sport. And of course, I feel I learned a lot of many values outside.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our next warrior into the Brave 22 Storm of Warriors cage. From KHK MMA and the magnificent Kingdom of Bahrain, give it up for Iron Hussein.
Ayad making his way to the Brave Arena. Young man representing KHK Mixed Martial Arts in Bahrain. 2 wins in his professional mixed martial arts career, both by way of knockout. Uses his wrestling brilliantly to get himself into dominant positions and finish fights via strikes. Fantastic pedigree as an amateur mixed martial artist. 18 fights in total as an amateur. Medaled extensively in IMAF competition. In the World IMAF Games in 2017, he came away with a bronze. In the 2017 IMAF European Games, he again came away with a bronze. So illustrating just how good he is as a mixed martial artist, now transitioning into the professional ranks in the biggest global mixed martial arts promotion in the world, Brave Combat Federation.
Iron comes from KHK MMA, another vision of His Highness, who came to MMA and saw not what it was, but rather what MMA should be, and now he's making it as it should be. KHK MMA fighters have housing, doctors, physical therapists, food, world-class training. Any fighter worldwide wishing to reach the next level should strive to join the elite. KHK MMA.
Hussein Ayad, of course, coming off an incredibly dominant first-round TKO victory over Muhammad Abu Ali at Brave 18. So he's really riding the wave of momentum right now, Kieran.
And his opponent, this man representing Fightworks MMA and fighting out of the Philippines. Give it up for Jason Python Vergara!
Jason Vergara makes his way to the Brave Arena for his Brave Combat Federation debut. Interestingly, in his professional career, he lost his debut. Lesser fighters would have been broken by that, but what did he do? He went on a 3-fight unbeaten streak. All wins by way of finish. 1 by KO, 2 by submission. Hence the nickname the Python, because when this young man gets his hands on you, he has a ridiculous squeeze. So Hussein Ayad will need to be very careful to mind his P's and Q's and not leave his neck or his limbs anywhere where they could be attacked.
What we're about to see here is yet another example of what is brought to the sport by Brave Combat Federation. You're about to see fight number 2 in Philippines versus the world. In the very first fight, Philippines won versus Sachi Bahoria from India. Now we're gonna see how the Philippines exponent, Jason Vergara, does against Iron Hussein Ayad from the Kingdom of Bahrain.
We see the tail of the tape there. 3 years of difference between these two young men. Everything else is virtually identical.
Virtually identical. All the officials in Brave CF are among the best in the world. You're seeing a small amount of grease being put in the face to keep cuts down. You don't want any fighters taking unnecessary cuts. Checking for fingernails, making sure the proper equipment's in place.
The Python slithers inside the Brave Arena.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this next classic bout is 3 5-minute rounds in the flyweight division. Introducing your first warrior. Fighting out of the blue corner, this man's a mixed martial artist with a professional record of 2 wins and 2 losses. He stands 169 centimeters tall and weighs already 57.1 kilograms. Representing KHK MMA Bahrain and fighting out of the magnificent Kingdom of Bahrain. Give it up for Iron Hussein Ayad. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. This man is a mixed martial artist with a professional record of 3 wins and 1 loss. He stands 170 centimeters tall and weighs already 56.7 kilograms. Representing Fightworks MMA, and fighting out of the Philippines. Give it up for Jason the Python Vergara. Your referee is Thomas Fan.
Brave Combat Federation has afforded Iron Ayad an opportunity to fight all over the world, and now his opponent is getting an opportunity to fight the world.
Both men look eager to go. Second fight of the night. Let's go.
Characteristic touch of hands, always great sportsmanship in the Brave Combat Federation cage.
Jason Vergara more commonly competed at 115 pounds, so less of a weight cut for him, which could impact positively. But both men are throwing heavy leather at each other right off the bat.
I am loving this. No feeling out period here.
Hussein Ayad using his strikes well just to get in there, but then Jason Vergara living up to the moniker of the Python, trying to set up a guillotine. Good wrist control from Hussein Ayad there. Again, just finds a little bit of space there. Throws a knee right up the middle. Great cage pressure being shown here by Hussein Ayad. Vergara does the right thing by digging in for an underhook.
There is a reason they call that man Iron. You saw it right there. Look at that strength.
Just in the blink of an eye, Carrick. Now let's transition into full side control and does so. Knee on belly. We can see mount straight away. Fantastic work from Hussein Ayad. They posture and land heavy strikes here. Has taken the back with both hooks in. Great work there to be aware of it by Jason Vergara. Just turns in expertly. But oh, Hussein Ayad with the Kimura.
Throwing the legs up, looking for a triangle. Securing the foot, he's got control of the head.
If he gets that leg just flush across the ship, maybe underhooks
it's
the leg.
Close.
Oh, he gets the top!
It is over! Iron Hussein Ayad!
Unbelievable ground game. A real evolution in his game being shown there by Hussein Ayad. Went through, I don't know, maybe about 3 different types of submissions there in about 10 seconds. Went from the back take to the Kimura to the triangle. Used the Kimura to set up the triangle. There he goes. That is deep. Pulls down on the head expertly and forces the tap from Jason Vergara. As clean a performance as you can get in the first round in Brave Combat Federation.
I had a feeling that with this incredible crowd, the Philippines might sweep this, but right now, Philippines versus the world stands at 1-1 with a win coming to Bahrain.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, what an explosive end to this second fight of the night. This one comes to an end at 1 minute and 31 seconds of the very first round. Tap out by triangle choke for your winner, Iron Hussein Ayad from Cage K MMA.
Hussein Ayad goes to 3-2 in his mixed martial arts career. Possibly the most dominant performance so far in his 5-fight professional career.
I like the fact they call him Iron because he just flattened his opponent.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our next warriors into the Brave Cage for our third fight of the evening. Please welcome from Palestine, Abdul Abba Hussein.
Abdul Hussein makes the walk into the Brave Arena. A young man with a wealth of experience at only 21 years old. a 2015 IMAF European champion, a 2016 IMAF World champion. So that's the kind of quality we see from Abdul Hussein making his way to the cage tonight. A fantastic story. If we take fighting out of the equation, if we look at just Abdul Hussein as a character, born in a refugee camp, moved to Finland. It's an unbelievable story of overcoming odds, of overcoming adversity, of persevering.
Abba possesses an extremely well-rounded mixed martial arts game. When you fight a Team Lakai fighter, you know what's going to happen. You're going to get kicked in the face, you're going to get kicked in the legs, you're going to get kicked in the body, and you're going to get punched in the face. You know what's coming. With this man, it's going to be a little bit harder to predict. He may go for a takedown. He may go for a clinch. He may fight on the wall. He may try and stand and strike. It's going to be a very, very interesting fight.
Yeah, for sure, Carrick. 5-1 as a professional. 2 wins by KO, 2 wins by submission. That works out at roughly an 80% finish ratio.
Let's welcome his opponent into the cage. From Team Lakai in Baguio City, the Philippines. Give it up for Happy Feet, John Chris Corton.
Local fighter John Chris Corton from the Philippines, representing Team Lakai, makes his way, makes the walk into the Brave Arena. Man with a professional record of 6-3, 6 wins versus 3 losses, 1-0 in Brave. We've seen him in his last outing at Brave 16 Abu Dhabi, where he defeated Hussein Ayad by unanimous decision. Currently riding a 3-fight win streak, dominant ground and pound, controls the opponent very well. Speaking with John Chris before this fight, he said he's been focusing on his strengths in this camp, his takedowns, his wrestling. Believes a big part of his game is his ability to maintain that heavy wrestling. I asked him, do you feel pressure being the local fighter, fighting in the Philippines? He admitted, yes, there is pressure, but I'm going to use that as fuel for the fire to put on an outstanding performance.
Phil, there's a little wrinkle to the striking game of Happy Feet. He has a black belt in Shotokan Karate Do, traditional Okinawan strikes. Let's take it up to the tail of the tape.
We see John Chris Corton, the slightly taller man, so he may use that effective range. See Abdul Hussein, only 21 years old, but already compiled, as we've alluded to, a 5-1 professional mixed martial arts record.
As I was saying, Shotokan fighters like Lyoto Machida fight out of a low-wide stance. They use a different sense of timing, long-range strikes.
This next classic bout is 3 5-minute rounds in the flyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This man's a mixed martial artist with a professional record of 5 wins and 1 loss. He stands 165 centimeters tall and weighs already 57.1 kilograms. Representing Espoon Kihahe, Finland, by way of Palestine. Give it up for Abdul Abba Hussein. And his opponent, fighting out of the right corner. This man's a mixed martial artist with a professional record of 6 wins and 3 losses. He stands 170 centimeters tall and weighs already 57.4 kilograms. Representing Team Lakai and fighting out of Baguio City, the Philippines. Give it up for Happy Feet, John Chris Corton. Your referee is Thomas Bronder.
Phil, Team Lakai fighters tend to start by exchanging with their opponent a little bit. Take a couple of shots, see what they've got. Abdul Hussein tends to start by throwing the kitchen sink at his opponent and seeing what he can break. I'm expecting a very quick start to this fight.
Yeah, I spoke with Abdul Hussein earlier in the week, and he said that he is going to show a
Round one starts.
and vastly more developed mixed martial arts game. See both men light on the feet. Big opening kick there from Corton.
Stalking. Nice switch. Ends up on, looks like bottom.
Straight away we see Jean-Chris Corton with that dominant wrestling. Following the hips well.
Triangle attempt underway.
He's already underhooked the leg.
The head is controlled.
Just need to see how methodical. And at this stage, where both fighters are dry, it just locks them together even more so.
The key here is going to be controlling that head. If Abba can control that head, he may be able to complete this triangle.
I'd like to see him create a little bit more of an angle.
Needs to get the foot all the way under the knee. It's just inches from being locked under that knee now.
He's slowly creeping it. Has he got it on enough?
He'll need to turn those hips a little more. And the Filipino fighter is out!
Great patience there from Jean-Chris Corton. Just bided his time. Lesser fighters would have freaked out a little bit, perhaps made a mistake, even throwing themselves deeper into the triangle, but he just bided his time, waiting for the hips and the legs of Abdul Hussein to open and then transition into side control with the pass. Maybe working on a Kimura here.
Looking for the submission from top side control.
I'd like to see him step over the head if he's going for it. Great work by Abdul Hussein. Abdul Hussein in on the takedown of his own. What a frenetic start to this fight, Kerry. High amplitude hip throw.
You don't know wushu.
Great dominant work from Jean-Chris Corton here.
Air Philippines now leaving from the Brave cage.
Corton just forcing Abdul Hussein to carry his weight here, but Abdul Hussein does the right thing and bases out, uses the cage to stand up. He needs to be wary of being thrown again. We've seen momentarily Corton just shift the hips as if to fake the throw. He has that underhook, he may use that to control. But Abdul Hussein does the right thing and uses the wizard.
Very, very impressed with Happy Feet that he could actually throw a strong shot with his back up against a cage.
Good head control from Corton. Oh! Crashing shots to the midsection from Corton.
Wow, I rarely see that. Stuck inside a plum, Happy Feet decided to go work the body. Oh, ninja choke! Ninja choke is in!
Oh, that looks tight.
This is the second submission attempt of the evening.
Corton could go out here if he's not careful. Mounted ninja choke, he may be forced to tap. Is it inevitable?
It's tight!
That looks so tight.
This submission is in tighter.
How is Jean-Chris Corton still in? Oh, here comes the tap.
And it's over!
It is all over. Fight-ending ninja choke from Abdul Hussein, who now racks his professional record up to 6-1 with 3 submission victories.
Abba wins via ninja choke!
That was beautiful. Just the ease with which he just slipped it in and controlled it. The thing with the ninja choke is once it's in, there is a scary inevitability about what follows. And more often than not, that is the tap. It's a submission we're seeing a lot more of in mixed martial arts.
Beautiful show of sportsmanship, as we very nearly always see in the Brave cage. Now to the replay.
So we see just off the clinch, we see Abdul Hussein just sneak the arm in, using the momentum of Jean-Chris Corton against him. Sneaks that right hand just underneath the chin, connects it to his bicep. And from here, as I said, it was inevitable, Carrick. That is a squeeze.
Ninja chokes have become something of a tradition in the Brave cage. In Philippines, we saw 2 of them.
Abdul Hussein gets the 4th first-round finish of his mixed martial arts career.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, what an incredibly explosive fight yet again. This one comes to an end at 3 minutes and 14 seconds of the very first round. Your winner submission by guillotine choke, Abdul Abba Hussein.
Abdul Hussein putting on, again, perhaps the best performance of his mixed martial arts career. Runs the professional record to 6-1 with 5 finishes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready for our fourth bout of the night. Storm of Warriors for Brave 22 in beautiful Manila, the Philippines. Let's welcome our next gladiator to the cage from the Philippines. Give it up for Jason Oregon
Jason Oregon Margallo makes his way to the Brave Arena. 4 wins in his professional career, 1 via way of knockout, 2 via submission, and 1 via decision. With the biggest opportunity in his mixed martial arts career, he makes his way to the Brave cage. This is an opportunity for a young fighter on the preliminary section of the card to really go in there and make a statement in front of our president, Mohammed Shahid.
Phil, you and I revere, you and I love Team Lakai, but this is the Philippines. This is a warrior culture. You're an Irishman, you come from a warrior culture, you can appreciate it. Team Lakai is far from the only great team in this great nation. What we're gonna see here is exponents from 2 of the best teams in the nation, Mindanao Ultimate MMA and Big 3 MMA.
Yeah, mixed martial arts in the Philippines it's really hitting an apex. We're seeing more gyms, we're seeing more professional fighters, and not only that, we're seeing real competent, well-rounded mixed martial artists.
His opponent into the Brave cage from the Philippines. Give it up for Rex T-Rex De Lara.
A real veteran of Filipino mixed martial arts, Rex T-Rex De Lara, making the walk, a professional since 2010. Turns 37 next week and has amassed a 9-6 professional record in his mixed martial arts career. 3 wins via TKO, 2 wins via submission, and 3 wins via decision. Interestingly, he also has professional boxing experience and has gone 4-0 as a professional boxer. So he's going to be bringing that boxing knowledge, that boxing acumen to the Brave Arena tonight.
I couldn't agree more. Everybody in mixed martial arts cross-train. They cross-train by definition. But T-Rex takes it to the next level. He doesn't just cross-train, he cross-competes. This is a man who's competed in boxing at the professional level. He holds a national Muay Thai title. He has competed at the national level and won in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. This is a high level mixed martial artist in the truest sense.
Interestingly, he holds a 2016 KO win over our bantamweight champion, Stefan Loman. So that may be a fight T-Rex has his eyes on should he win tonight. Final checks being done in our preparation point.
I want to add Margulo as well. Jason Margulo as well does have national titles in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Wouldn't be too surprised at all to see this fight go down to the ground.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're ready for our 4th bout of the night. 3 5-minute rounds in the bantamweight division. Introducing first, your first warrior. Fighting out of the blue corner, this man's a mixed martial artist with a professional record of 4 wins and 6 losses. He sits 170 centimeters tall and weighs a ready 61 kilograms. representing Big 3 MMA and Power Max Gym. Give it up for Jason Oregon Marpack. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. This man is a mixed martial artist with a professional record of 9 wins and 6 losses. He stands 171 centimeters tall and weighs a ready 61.2 kilograms. Representing Mindanao Ultimate Mixed Martial Arts and Cages Gladiator. And fighting out of the Philippines, give it up for Rex T-Rex Your referee is Thomas Fan.
Crowd's loving the ring card, girl. Phil, we're about to see a classic fight here. Young Lion versus Old Lion. Does the old man still have it? We're going to find out in just seconds.
Or is the T-Rex going to end up extinct, Carrick? Apologies. Morgallo just using feints and head movement now. Trying to get a read. Shoots in on the takedown, but reversed by T-Rex. Landing shots from inside the guard. Guard open of Jason Morgallo. Foot on the hip, usually that's indicative of trying to work for a submission to try and create an angle. But great pressure following up the hips being done by Rex Delara right now.
Big respect for Jason Morgallo for trying to start the fight fast and hard, but when you do that, there is a chance of just this happening.
Momentarily, Morgallo looked to set up the triangle there. He had the wrist. So, but this is what I like to see, Kerry, because when the action goes to the ground, I like to see the man on the bottom being active. It's nice to see that he's not just stalling, not just holding on. He's trying to get the foot on the hip. He's trying to create an angle. He's trying to make something happen.
Both these athletes are experienced competitors in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. They don't just study it in the gym, they actually compete in it.
There's the triangle attempt again. I think Rex Delara is now wise to that, now knows that when Jason goes for the wrist, that's what he's setting up. Again, hips are open, potential armbar. Doesn't quite have the space against the cage.
I'd like to see Rex clear that hand off of his head, posture back, and then land some bigger shots.
Massive elbow, just landed right down the middle from Rex Delara. Again, there's that triangle attempt. Posture, I'd like to see posture. Good defensive work from Rex Delara to keep out of that submission.
Floating up off that floor.
Delara just trying to establish his distance, his range. Keeps those hands high in a classic boxer style.
This distance management is perhaps the single most important aspect of a fight.
It's almost like he's just waiting to land that one big strike. He's just sizing Jason up here, trying to find where he can find the gap and get through.
If this distance is off by far less than an inch, fighter's going to get hit straight in the head. They are playing with a fraction of an inch here. T-Rex stalking.
It's almost as if both men are acutely respectful of one another's power and don't necessarily want to engage. But beautiful hook to straight to hook from Rex Delara. But Morgallo knows how dangerous of a striker T-Rex is. There it is.
That shot looked like he tried to unscrew his head.
Hands very high of T-Rex. Could perhaps leave him susceptible to a little bit of body work if Jason Morgallo is aware of it.
After that straight shot, I think he might... Oh!
Head kick just missed. Did make clean connection.
Timing is everything in this sport.
That's a big
beautiful left hook into a double leg. Took him down. Can he hold him down?
Needs to be wary of the guillotine choke here from T-Rex. T-Rex doesn't have the guard closed, or doesn't have a hook around the leg, so it doesn't have as much leverage as he would do if he had either of those positions. Almost looks as if he's trying to post up on one leg here. Just taking his time, holding the dominant position.
T-Rex looking to set up the arm-in guillotine, but was not able to get control from bottom.
If Jason Margala's wise to it, there's potential for him here to land a one flea choke, but I'm not sure if he has the space to do so. He shouldn't necessarily be in a lot of danger from a guillotine from side position, but that looks tight.
It is tight.
It's very rare I've seen a guillotine being achieved from being inside control.
Really looking at a fighter of extraordinary strength. Some guys have a grip that's beyond description.
T-Rex needs to be careful not to burn his arms out in this situation. The Von Flea choke is wide open for Jason Margala if he's aware of it. He needs to wrap one arm around the back of the neck of T-Rex and then use his shoulder to drive into the carotid artery.
Fighter is now out of that submission attempt.
How much energy did Rex Delara expend trying to get that guillotine?
Looking to do one of the classic escapes from side control.
Yep, has that underhooks, looking to slide out or sweep out.
Like seeing those knees from bottom, that's unorthodox.
Jason Margala in dominant position, landing elbows just to leave a little bit of a marker in the eyes of the judges.
Exciting round.
Let's get a little bit of a snapshot from the first round. Sets up the takedown beautifully, uses his strikes to bring the attention of T-Rex up and then shoots in for the takedown. There we see the guillotine attempt. I think the question needs to be asked is, what has T-Rex got left in his arm? Because it looks like he was putting a lot into that guillotine choke from the bottom.
He did indeed. We're going to find the answer to that question very, very shortly, but we're seeing expert work on both sides to try and fully restore their fighters to fighting shape.
Referee calling for the corners to be cleared. I think a little bit of veteran savvy right there from T-Rex's corner. Just put water over his head. Quite a lot of water. Water has to be cleaned up. That takes a little bit of time, giving your fighter a bit of a breather.
So wise insight. Round two. Love the show sportsmanship.
T-Rex again comes out with those hands high in that classic boxer stance. If you see the feet position of T-Rex, he's not light on his feet. He's purposefully, I think, planting the feet in the hope that he can land that big strike, that he can put everything into it.
He isn't down sitting. He is indeed sitting down hard. Probably going to try and land a big right, but it could be a left hook as well. Slick little pendulum kick.
Jason Margala happy to go to work from the outside. Happy to be on his bike. Just needs to be wary that he could get pressured up against the cage. Head kick attempt, just shy.
Like to see Margalo initiate now. Backing up in the sport is frowned on by judges.
He's being a little bit reactive as opposed to being proactive right now, Carrick. Astute observation there from the OG of the mixed martial arts game, Mr. Carrick Janis.
Simple fact is, if you back up in this sport, it's very hard to get a takedown. It's hard to get strikes. It's possible to just back up and back up and back up, but it's no way to win. We see T-Rex stalking. Beautiful level change!
He just bided his time and waited off the strikes. As you say, beautiful timing, beautiful level change, and lands the double leg takedown.
Fantastic strategy.
May again just switch into side control. The T-Rex doing the right thing by trying to push the head away and get his hips out.
Timing is everything in this sport, and Brave Nation, you just saw an incredible example of timing on that takedown, and it now may have led to a back take.
With one hook in, I believe. There's also the potential to transition to the armbar if the rear naked choke isn't there. T-Rex looks like he may just sneak out the bottom. armbar's definitely there if Jason's wise to it. Has he got the arm? Just slips out and lands. Huge strikes this T-Rex. Nothing short about those arms.
T-Rex looks just a little bit winded after that last exchange. We're at the halfway mark in this round, Brave Nation. Brave Nation, if you like what you're seeing like we do, hashtag BraveCF22.
It's almost like T-Rex knows that Jason is a counter striker and doesn't want to give him the impetus, doesn't want to give him the stimulus to get off his counter shots. So we see a little bit of this chess game, but again, beautiful level change and takedown from Jason Margallo. T-Rex not resting on his laurels at all, trying to create a little bit of space and pop up.
Almost a guard pass now.
I would like to see Jason bring him off the cage a little bit so that he can really impose his weight upon him.
Phil, I'd like to very quickly give thanks to Abu Dhabi Sports, our official broadcaster in the Middle East and North Africa.
Back take again from Jason Margallo. Has one hook in, has two hooks in. It's all about the hand fight right now, Carrick. T-Rex needs to go 2-on-1.
I wouldn't be shocked to see a figure 4 go on that body.
It's not the hand across your neck that you necessarily need to be preoccupied with in this situation. It's the hand that's going to go behind the neck that will do the damage. But Jason Margallo transitions into mount.
Fantastic tradition to top mount.
Has one grapevine in.
It's about to rain strikes.
Trying to work for the second grapevine. There it is. They flatten them out.
Nice intricate jiu-jitsu work, and the punches have begun.
T-Rex does have underhooks here, so he may use those to try and elevate and sweep out.
I'm loving the fact that T-Rex is throwing shots from bottom mount.
Looks a cage walk here. And gives up the back. Stands up and may just look to scoot out. Jason Margallo is on him like glue.
Margallo high, but applying heavy, heavy hip pressure. Seconds now, seconds. End of the round.
Let's recap a little bit of the action from our second round. Here we see the stalking, the head kick that's just shy from T-Rex. And then the level change into the takedown. T-Rex managed to get one post out, but then just couldn't defend that takedown entirely. Again, beautiful takedown work. And as we know in mixed martial arts, Carrick, takedowns do score very high in the eyes of the judges.
They do indeed. I'd like to take this little tiny break in the action to offer another profound thanks to another one of our sponsors. Dope is our outdoor and branding partner.
All set to go for our third and final round. In what has been a really interesting tactical fight.
Interesting, tactical, and very, very hard to judge.
Round 3 starts.
Third and final round, Brave Nation.
Another big takedown. And that's bound to be exactly what Jason Margallo wants right now.
Takedown right to mount with the legs grapevine.
He needs to get rid of that arm around his neck if he wants to posture and land strikes. I think he may try and work for the back again. There we go, takes the back.
There it was, good call.
Interestingly, both of Jason Margallo's submission finishes in his career have come by way of rear naked choke. So it must be something that he trains a lot. It must be something he feels very confident in.
Those hips were getting pretty heavy on T-Rex's back.
This is a great position now to land strikes and soften up T-Rex.
T-Rex took an opportunity to throw a reverse elbow of his own.
I like the wrist control we see here from Jason, just on the left side. He's taken away a post by doing that, and he's also taken away any defensive measure that T-Rex may have. He's really keeping a hold of that wrist. He may even be trying to work for a one-arm Kimura. Big strikes, we can hear it right now from our broadcast position.
Heavy. And there's that hip pressure.
That's beautiful.
Look at the bend in that spine. Frying pan fire, bottom mount now.
Again, grapevines the legs from the mounted position. It really is a pick your poison position, because if you turn, you give up your back. If you're on your back and you turn in that position, you give up the mount.
It's a tough one. At least when you're facing up, you can see some of those shots coming. The worst shots are the ones you never see. Margallo's going to look to posture back, break those underhooks, start landing strikes and elbows. There it is.
Rex Delara's flat backing a little bit too much for my leg, and I'd like to see him try and be active, try and shrimp out, buck the hips, try and do something. The thing is, if you shrimp out and you put your hands down on the knee of your opponent, you're exposing your head. Like
Don't
I say,
expose that head, because here comes those elbows.
Like I say, it's a pick your poison position. Gives up the back. Flattens him out again. Big strikes. If he lands enough strikes, if he continues with the volume of strikes that he could be throwing, potentially he could end the fight.
This kind of positional dominance does very often lead to a finish in mixed martial arts.
Also the opportunity for the head-on triangle. Jason Margallo savvy enough.
T-Rex does not seem to have an answer for this positional game. Fighting those grapevines a little bit. But to fully escape, you need a combination of bridging, fighting the legs, and shrimping. Fighting those grapes alone is not going to do it.
That's bound to be incredibly frustrating for Rex Delara being in this position. But it's an illustration of just how dominant Jason Margallo's ground game is. Still doing just enough landing those little pot shots. Carrick, in your professional opinion, is this kind of dominance worthy of a 10-8 round under the scoring criteria?
Not yet, because there has not been a large enough volume of damaging strikes. In order to earn a 10-8 round, a dominant 10-8 round, there does have to be a higher degree of damage than we had seen, but we may be seeing the beginning of it now with not one but two downward elbow strikes.
With a minute left, Rex Delara really needs to do something here. He really needs to work.
Remember, this is not jiu-jitsu, this is mixed martial arts. Positioning is a means to an end. It is not a goal in and of itself. Now we're seeing the end.
Again, great wrist control in the gift wrap position from Jason Margallo here. And he's going to be happy, and his corner are going to be happy to stay in this position, to land enough shots, to keep it from being stood up, en route to a possible decision victory. Rex Delara has to be thinking, what do I need to do to get this man off of me?
This is the dominant round I was really hoping to see, because the first two rounds were very, very even. I don't like it when it's more or less even after 3 full rounds.
It really has been a story all about the wrestling dominance and how important the wrestling is, but then we just
Buster strikes, backdoor, up, and it's over.
Jason Margallo obviously thinks he won. He scaled the cage.
Fantastic display of jiu-jitsu in mixed martial arts. Both fighters playing to the crowd and perhaps the judges. Hugs all around. It's one of the things I love about this sport. Everybody's hugging their opponent's coaches.
Yeah, it's common in mixed martial arts to see that show of respect, but it's even more common to see it in Brave Combat Federation. You know, our visionary leader, Sheikh Khaled bin Hamad Al Khalifa, he really is bringing people together through the sport of mixed martial arts. And for him, all we can say is thank you very much.
Very well put. Phil, can you walk me through a little replay here?
Just the end of the round. Jason Margallo knew he had 10 seconds left, so he took a little bit of a risk. Had he have done something like that earlier in the round, you know, potentially T-Rex would have gotten away and it would become a stand-up fight again. So very intelligent, you know, he obviously listened to his corner let him know 10 seconds left. He landed some strikes as if just to put a pinpoint at the end of the round.
Do you think there's a doubt about who won this fight, Bill?
Being entirely honest, no, I do believe it's Jason Margallo's fight, because in the second round we've seen him illustrate the beginning of just how dominant his wrestling was. Again, taking the back and working for the rear naked choke. So at the very least I would call this 29-28.
29-28, that's what we're calling it. That's what I'm going to call it as well. I just want to say the two fighters just smiled at each other, embraced each other. They were trying to put each other's lights out just seconds ago. But these men are brothers in arms.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for both of these Philippine warriors. What a great fight. After 3 rounds, we go the judges' scorecard. Your first judge scores about 30-27. Next judge scores about 29-28. And your last judge scores about 29-27 for your winner by unanimous decision out of the blue corner, Jason Margallo!
There we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Jason Margallo gets the win on the biggest global mixed martial arts stage. As we've alluded to, I think one of the judges did give the final round as a 10-8, but a great win for Jason Margallo.
That's what we do at Brave Combat Federation, bringing the world closer together through the unity of mixed martial arts. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our next warrior into the cage from the Philippines. Give it up for the lady boxer, Ariel Olivero.
Ariel, the lady boxer, Oliveros making his way to the cage. Perhaps one of the greatest nicknames in mixed martial arts, the lady boxer. You can see from the way he's walking down there that he's loose, that he uses that in the cage. What I really like about Ariel Oliveros is he implements little bits of theater, little bits of theatricality, little bits of misdirection when he's in there. But don't let that fool you, as he is legitimately dangerous. Almost has a little bit of the Genki Sudo about him in his style. It's an unorthodox approach to his striking. It's an unorthodox approach to the fight game. And I, for one, absolutely love it.
I do have to agree with you on that nickname. Anybody can call themselves Pitbull. It's easy, as too many people do. But to call yourself the lady boxer, that takes a real man.
Indeed, Carrick, indeed. Brings with him to the cage 4 wins against 3 losses. 2 wins by way of KO and 2 wins by way of decision. So he has power in those hands. Has never been knocked out or TKO'd in his professional career. So we know he has a chin on him too.
The lady boxer took this fight on short notice. This was supposed to be Gamzat Makhmedov. When there was a withdrawal, the lady boxer stepped up, but this is a very, very, very tough fight for him.
But with great risk comes great reward, Carrick.
That is too true.
His opponent from Team Lakay and fighting out of Baguio City, the Philippines. Give it up for the artist, Harold Banario.
Harold, the artist, Banario, representing Team Lakay, makes his way into the Brave Arena. The artist making his way looks to create his masterpiece. After a 3-year layoff, Carrick. Is that going to play a part in this fight?
I think it is going to play a part in this fight, but I would like to touch on what he's been doing for the 3 years. This is a man, they call him the artist. He is an artist. He works beautifully in oil paints. I have been blogging about him for years. His work, his professional work is excellent. I'd actually like to own some. What you're looking here is a man who proves that mixed martial artists are not just boneheads who have nothing else to do in their life. This is a high-level artist, literally.
A real renaissance man of the mixed martial arts game, Carrick. Brings with him a professional record of 4 wins and 1 loss. 1 win by KO, 1 win by submission, and 2 wins coming by way of decision. Still very young, only 25 years old, so should he want to pursue mixed martial arts to the fullest extent, which I believe he does by virtue of the fact he's stepping inside to the Brave Arena, he still has a lot of time to do that.
Again, we've got a Team Lakai fighter that doesn't just cross-train the way everybody else does. This is a man who cross-competes. You're looking at a national champion in Wushu, and I think that's going to show inside the Brave cage.
Again, has unbelievable training partners with which to work with. Our bantamweight champion, Stefan Loman, Jeremy Pakatu, John-Chris Corton, Joe Marpack. Also the brother of Honorio the Rock Benario and Dario Benario, 2 professional fighters to great acclaim in their own right.
Officials just making sure there's no extra grease. There should be a Brave Nation. There should be enough grease on the opponent's, on the fighter's face, so no cuts are caused unnecessarily, but not so much it can cause someone to be able to slip out of a hold. That's a fine line. The officials here know how to meet it exactly.
25 years old against 25 years old. Tail of the tape there, we see Ariel Oliveros, the smaller man. Will that wait?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the final bout of the undercard before we start the main card of the evening. Let's meet our first warrior. Fighting out of the blue corner, this man's a mixed martial artist with a professional record of 3 wins and 3 losses. He stands 168 centimeters tall and weighs already 60.3 kilograms. Representing Team The Elements MMA and fighting out of the Philippines. Give it up for the lady boxer, Ariel Oliveros. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. This man is a mixed martial artist with a professional record of 4 wins and 1 loss. He stands 170 centimeters tall and weighs already 63.7 kilograms. Representing Team Lakai and fighting out of Baguio City, the Philippines. Give it up for the artist, Harold Benario. Your referee is Tomas Brunder.
Phil Oliveros is not the favorite in this fight, but for some fighters that can be freeing. It puts less expectations on them. They feel free to try whatever they want. I'm very interested to see the opening seconds of this fight. I think it could tell a lot.
And as we said, he's taken the fight on in and around a week's notice in a weight division up from the weight division he usually competes in. So it really is all there for him.
Big thanks to SM Tickets, our ticket partner.
Oliveros in the white shorts, Harold Benario in the trademark Team Lakai red.
I'd really like to see Oliveros moving a little bit.
Oh, the clash of shins there, Carrick. We heard that echo through the arena.
Bone on bone.
I like that jumping side kick to the face from Harold Benario. Fakes high, goes low, big double leg takedown. But Oliveros moves right away to try and get out from underneath Benario.
Knee bar attempt. It's close.
Oh, he's hipping right into it.
Those hips are in.
He's hipped right into that. Oh, it's a tap! Wow! Unbelievable jitsu from the artist with a masterful knee bar in the opening stanzas of the very first round.
Team Lakai showing they can do it all.
That was absolutely beautiful jiu-jitsu.
Striking, wrestling, and joint locks. Phil, what a team. What a team we have in front of us in Team Lakai.
Yeah, what more can you say about them? They're masterful. They have legitimately not just some of the best fighters in the Philippines. They have some of the best fighters in the entire world, Carrick.
And some of the best human beings as well.
So look at it, he faked high with the jab, went low on the double leg, got beautiful flair, transitions into side control. Oliveros, much to his credit, was continuing to try and work, but you just seen Benario underhook the leg and then dive on the knee bar, grab the head, get full extension, using his own hip as a fulcrum for it, and elicits the tap.
Phil, as the officials are tabulating the score, I'd like to thank ESPN5, our official broadcast production partner. It has been a joy and an honor to work with them.
Nothing left to do but send it over to the voice of Brave, Mr. Carlos Kramer.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, another explosive finish at Brave 22 Storm of Warriors. This one comes to an end at 41 seconds of the very first round. Submission by heel hook. Give it up for the artist, Harold
Harold Benario with a huge win coming by way of submission. I'm really excited to see what that young man does next in our bantamweight division here at Brave Combat Federation.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the main card of Brave 22 Storm of Warriors in the Philippines starts right now. Let's bring our first warrior into the cage for the main card. From Dragon Warrior MMA, fighting out of Shanghai, China, by way of Pakistan. Welcome, Memosh, the Renegade, Reza!
Ladies and gentlemen, if you are just joining us, where have you been? Main card of Brave 22 Storm of Warriors is about to kick off with Memosh, the Renegade Raza, making his way to the cage. Incredibly intense is this young man. We saw that at the weigh-ins with the intensity with which he faced off against his opponent. Memosh brings with him a 9-3 professional mixed martial arts record. Interestingly, 4 of his wins have come by submission in the very first round. All chokes, 2 by way of rear naked choke and 2 by way of guillotine. An incredibly eloquent, well-spoken young man. That was illustrated in his post-fight interview with yourself, Carrick, at Brave 17 in Pakistan.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. This is a young man with not just electrifying fighting ability, but with electrifying skills on the mic. You're about to see somebody who comes from Pakistan, trains in China, is fighting tonight in the Philippines, in the Bahrain-born Brave Combat Federation. This fight is what this organization is all about, and I would like to add, Memosh is kitted by Green Hill, our official merchandise partner, and in my opinion, the finest apparel in mixed martial arts.
That's right, Kerry. Keep it MMA, keep it Green Hill. Memosh Raza calls his style Thug Jitsu, a real exponent of the grapple, grind, submit philosophy that we see inside the cage.
And let's welcome his opponent into the Brave cage, representing Bigatan Muay Thai in the Philippines. Give it up for Rolando D, the Incredible D!
Rolando D, incredible. Perhaps the best facial hair we have seen tonight, Carrick. But beyond that, he is a professional with a 10-7 record. A real exponent of the striking arts, comes from a boxing background. As said, he has been boxing pretty much since birth. His father, Rolando Navarrete, a former WBC super featherweight world boxing champion. So that was how he grew up, but he supplements that dangerous boxing, that smart boxing, with really solid jiu-jitsu fundamentals. He himself holds a BJJ purple belt and has won a number of national grappling tournaments. So again, we're illustrating that mixed martial arts, you cannot get away by simply being an exponent of one martial art. You need to blend everything together. You need to be a competent striker. You need to know how to wrestle. You need to know your submissions.
As you said, the man you're about to see is Filipino combat sports royalty. He's the son of a world boxing champion. He'd like to be a world champion in the Brave Combat Federation cage, but in order to do that, he's got to get by a very tough customer in Memos Raza.
We see both men weighing in exactly on our featherweight limit. Memos Raza, the slightly taller fighter by 5 centimeters. Might be something he'll try and make use of.
I'd like to thank our hospitality partner, Belmont Hotel. They've taken incredible care of us.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the main card of Brave 22 Storm of Warriors starts right now. Let's meet our first warrior of the main card. Fighting out of the blue corner, this man's a mixed martial artist with a professional record of 9 wins and 3 losses. He stands 180 centimeters tall and weighs a ready 66.2 kilograms. Representing Dragon Warrior MMA and fighting out of Shanghai, China by way of Pakistan. Give it up for Memos Renegade Raza! And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. This man's a mixed martial artist with a professional record of 10 wins and 7 losses. He stands 175 centimeters tall and weighs a ready 66.2 kilograms. Representing Biaktan Muay Thai in the Philippines. Give it up for Rolando D, the incredible D. Your referee is Thomas Fan.
Phil the Roaring Lion is roaring. We are buzzing with anticipation. The main card is just seconds from starting.
Memos Raza illustrating that trademark intensity during Carlos Kramer's introductions there. I don't think he's taking his eyes off Rolando D.
Start of round 1.
Touch of the gloves and away we go. Jab and feints being thrown straight away from Memos Raza.
Rolando D, very calm.
Rolando D has said publicly that he expects Memos Raza to be the more nervous fighter because he has never fought a fighter of his caliber. I think it would be fair to say that this is a huge step up in competition for Memos Raza.
This is a huge step up in competition for almost anybody.
Filipino veteran Rolando D just taking his time.
Taking his time and winging some big left hands.
Nice straight landed there by Memos Raza. Oh, thunderous leg kick.
2 more of those and that leg may stop working.
There's another one. If you see Memos Raza switch stances, oh, beautiful jab straight combination from Rolando D, illustrating that quality boxing we alluded to earlier.
Like that oblique kick from Memos.
Oh, big overhand and a hook to finish.
Memos doing a great job of keeping his hands up.
Rolando D really seems to be settling into his rhythm with the strikes. think that was more just off balance from Mimosh Raza.
Gotta see Mimosh's right hand up a little higher. That left hand that's coming in is deadly.
If he continues in this kind of vein, I wouldn't be surprised to see Raza shoot. Oh! Rolando D just has this ability to land his strikes as you're coming in and completely destroy your own cadence, your own flow.
Second oblique kick landed. That may end up being the most significant thing that happens in the earliest part of this fight.
Really is digging in with those leg kicks. Those leg kicks might be an investment for further rounds. Oh, he dropped him! Rolando D dropped him!
Mimosh was down!
Oh, big elbows! Two huge elbows!
This may not last long! Liver shot!
Rolando D just like a stalker. Big elbow again.
Mimosh is still in this fight. He ate two huge elbows!
He's on wobbly legs.
He's a bad man, though. He's still standing.
Rolando D just showing his veteran status by not charging in. Because a hurt opponent is a dangerous opponent, Carrick.
Mimosh Raza is still a dangerous man.
Huge hook!
He ate another left.
On the straight. Beautiful hands from Rolando D. But again, just as calm as you like, and to steal a phrase from Noel O'Keefe, looks like he's just walking down to the shops for a pint of milk.
Mimosh very, very wisely pinning his opponent up against the fence. When your opponent's hips are jammed up against the cage wall, there's not the leverage to get a knockout shot.
Do we think Mimosh Raza has fully collected his senses? Rolando D just looking very relaxed.
Shot on the chin again. Mimosh's knees are wobbly.
It's that straight to counter hook from Rolando D that's doing the damage. He throws the straight and then pops a massive hook.
There it was again. Every few seconds, Mimosh starts to get his legs under him, and then he gets hit again.
He's busted up the nose of Mimosh Raza.
Huge props to this man. Huge props to this warrior from Pakistan.
Big head kick
here. Those shots would fell a tree.
Oh! That has to be it! That has to be it!
Down. He wants to keep fighting. Referee stops the fight.
Wow! Rolando D with the one punch knockout power. Unbelievable. Sends the mouthguard of Mimosh Raza flying and caps it all off with the billionaire strut. That was electrifying. Ladies and gentlemen, what a way to open up our main card here at Brave Combat Federation 2. Storm of Warriors in the Philippines. And we can't say that that wasn't coming. Huge strikes being landed by to Mimosh Raza by Rolando D. Full credit to Mimosh Raza because he has an unbelievable chin on him. Lesser men would have been knocked out in the earlier stances of that fight. Ladies and gentlemen of the Brave Nation, I need to take a breath. So that leaves us with one thing to do. Send it over for the official decision to the 2017-2018 Cage Announcer of the Year. The one, the only, the roaring lion of Brave, Mr. Carlos Kramer. Just look at that replay. That's straight. Unbelievable shot. It really was all about the striking of Rolando D in this contest. Sends the mouth guard flying. Mimosh, much to his credit, tries to get up, but he's clearly incapacitated. Referee does the right thing, calls the fight, and the belly struck from Rolando D.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you absolutely kidding me? This fight comes to an end at 4 minutes and 4 seconds of the very first round. Your winner for TKO due to strikes from Team D, Rolando D, the Incredible D!
Derek Janis to grab a word with our winner.
Rolando, you are incredible. Philippines, you are incredible. Rolando, can you tell Brave Nation what it means not just to be a great warrior, but to be a great warrior from the Philippines?
First of all, before I forget, I just want to thank Lord Jesus Christ for giving me strength to win tonight. I can't do all things. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And about your question, I don't want to lose in front of my family, of my crush, of my loved ones, and of course, of my countrymen. There's no way I want to lose there's no way I will lose tonight. I will die first before losing in front of my countrymen. I'm fighting for 3 years outside of my country, and this is my homecoming. To those who don't know me, I'm fighting outside the country for 3 years. Now, Brave gave me the opportunity to fight again here in front of you guys. Salamat mga tol. Marami pa tayong patutulungin, foreigner. I just want to thank my sponsors. Toyota Lanyon, Toyota Ilocos, Alan Bulistar, Kabayan in Abu Dhabi, and to all those my friends who came here. Salamat guys. There's no way I will lose in front of you tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, the incredible Rolando D! Give yourselves a huge round of applause. Philippines, you are amazing! Let's welcome our next warriors into the cage. Your first one, coming in from the Philippines. Give it up for Ruthless Mark Alcoma.
Paid my dues.
Mark brings with him a 5-1 professional record into the Brave Arena. 2 wins coming by way of knockout, 3 wins coming by way of decision. This is undoubtedly the biggest fight of his mixed martial arts career. Fighting in an arena such as this against an opponent like Jeremy Pakatu, and I firmly believe that Mark Alcoma is the kind of fighter that will rise to such an occasion. Currently riding a 4-fight win streak. He's definitely riding that wave of confidence going into this fight, Keurig.
As we discussed earlier, what I love a lot of things about this fight, but what I'm most excited about is to see whose will be done. Which one of these 2 fighters can impose their will. I don't think anybody's gonna make any mistakes. I don't think anybody's gonna take any stupid risks. I think they're each gonna grind on each other until the best man wins.
Interestingly though, I've watched all of Mark Alcoba's fights. This Brave Combat Federation arena that he's about to step into is the biggest cage he's ever fought in. He's used to fighting in smaller cages. Do you think that might affect his performance at all?
The size of the cage always matters in combat sports. When Mike Tyson fought, he fought in a tiny cage. Muhammad Ali fought, he fought in a huge cage. Absolutely, the size of this marvelous Brave cage could have an effect on this fight.
His opponent from Team Lakai in Baguio City, the Philippines. Give it up for the juggernaut, Jeremy Packatu!
Jeremy, the juggernaut, Packatu, making his way to the cage. Is it fair to call him a veteran of Brave Combat Federation? Because this is his 8th fight inside the Brave Arena at only 22 years of age, Kieran.
This man is a record-breaking Brave fighter.
Coming off quite possibly what could be described as a Fight of the Year candidate in 2018 when he beat Illumi Kareem in Pakistan by a unanimous decision. That's the kind of fight that Jeremy Packatu seems to consistently find himself in. He does not do boring fights. He gets in and just throws down for the benefit, the pleasure, the entertainment of everybody sitting in the arena who are usually on their feet by the time we're finished.
And that is characteristic of the great Team Lakai that we revere so very much. Quick shout out to our travel partner, Dream World. Dream World Brave Combat Federation does appreciate you as our travel partner.
Jeremy Packatu looking to extend his winning streak at Brave Combat Federation to 3 with this win. Coming off the back of wins over Illumi Kareem, as we've alluded to, and Keith Lee. Made his Brave debut all the way back at Brave 2. A real mainstay of the organization. And somebody who's really starting to find his feet. Tail of the table, so Jeremy Packatu is slightly taller.
This next epic bout is 3 5-minute rounds in the bantamweight division. Introducing your first warrior. Fighting out of the blue corner, this man's a mixed martial artist with a professional record of 6 wins and 1 loss. He stands 168 centimeters tall and weighs already 61.2 kilograms. Representing Boss Conqueror MMA and fighting out of the Philippines. Give it up for Ruthless Marpack! And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. This man's a mixed martial artist with a professional record of 8 wins and 3 losses. 172 centimeters tall and weighs already 63.7 kilograms. Representing Team Lakai and fighting out of Baguio City, the Philippines. Give it up for the juggernaut, Jeremy Packatu! Your referee is Tomas Brunder.
Phil, this is mixed martial arts. This is inherently a dangerous sport. I'd like to thank our medical partner, the Medical City, for keeping all of our great fighters safe.
Yeah, fighter safety is paramount right here at Brave Combat Federation. Referee Tomas Brunder gets us underway.
Start of round 1.
Just finding their feet. Jeremy Packatu happy to stay on the outside. Alcoba taking the center of the cage. Great kick open up from the juggernaut. For a 22-year-old man to be so calm at the highest level of professional mixed martial arts is incredibly impressive, Kieran.
It is incredibly impressive, and he is a Filipino fighter.
Beautiful leg kicks. There's that push kick, which has been popularized by the likes of John Jones in international mixed martial arts.
It's pretty shortly going to be followed up with a head kick.
I think he's going to go low a couple of times and go high, Kieran.
I do indeed.
Oh, big overhand. Mark Alcoba just letting Jeremy Packatu know that he's dangerous in this fight. head movement from Jeremy Pakatu to evade.
Pakatu is one cool customer.
He's really crashing that inside leg kick, isn't he? That inside leg kick, of course, there against the southpaw fighter, Mark Alcoba. Could really take the pop out of the lead leg, which then begins to affect things like your ability to strike, your ability to take somebody down, because so much of mixed martial arts is predicated off your lead leg.
Part of the training in Wushu is turning those shins into a cricket bat, or if you prefer, a baseball bat.
Constant movement from Jeremy Pakatu. He's never staying in front of Mark Alcoba for too long. And on the takedown, needs to be wary of the guillotine, but lands inside control.
Absolutely fantastic to see a takedown and a guard pass attempt at the same time. Ended up in top half guard, but not close guard. Beautiful technique from the Juggernaut.
Just steps right over. But fair play to Mark Alcoba. He's trying to follow the hips as best he can, but Jeremy Pakatu settles into half guard. Let's see what he can do from here.
That guard is passed now.
He looks to step over the head and perhaps to set up a Kimura. Good transition in the armbar in the north-south position right now.
I love these Filipino fighters striking from bottom. It's just being warned not to hit the back of the head. Brave Nation, there's an area about the side of a cell phone that runs from the top of your head down your spine. It cannot be struck.
And I think that was intelligent work from Jeremy Pakatu. He intentionally turned his head away to expose the back of his head so that any strike would land on the back. So a little bit of veteran savvy from the 22-year-old.
Deep veteran savvy from a 22-year-old, and he knew the punch coming from the bottom wasn't going to be enough to jangle him.
Great use of jangle, by the way, Kerrick. Genuinely fantastic. Maybe trying to set up the Kimura as we've alluded to, or perhaps
a leg lock.
Spin for the, we've already had one knee bar tonight.
We have. I would not be shocked if he dove on a leg.
He's
nope, he's going for the arc. He's going for the head scissor. He's going for the head scissor.
He's taking the head scissor.
He's looking to put his opponent out with the legs.
Has he got enough in his legs? And if he does not get the leg scissor, he also has the arc. But great scramble.
Fighter is out and down on his back again. What a scramble.
That has to be so demoralizing when you feel like you've got enough space to get out and you see the tiniest bit of daylight. But Jeremy Pakatu played the role of the darkness right there and just blanketed Mark Alcoba.
And Pakatu is right back on the job, trying to set up the next submission attempt. Could be the arm, could be another head scissor. He might even go diving for that leg.
I like the slow, methodical pressure that he's using. He's not just, he's taking position before submission. He's not just diving on a submission and perhaps giving up his position. Very intelligent mixed martial arts. He just transitions with the hips.
I can say honestly,
on belly.
Yeah, and mount.
He may take the arm for the arm bar, or a head-on triangle perhaps.
Transition to the back.
Big
Heavy
shots.
on the hips now.
This could be it.
Heavy shots coming down.
Mark Alcoba trying to do the right thing just by grabbing a hold of Jeremy Pakatu. Jeremy Pakatu, beautiful base off elbow. And again.
And another one.
Just uses the hand to frame against the head and crash that elbow in. Big finish from Jeremy Pakatu in the first round.
Those elbows can cause fight-ending cuts in a split second.
Split second.
End of round one.
What a round, Phil.
That was absolutely fantastic. We've seen Jeremy Pakatu going in there, fighting in front of his countrymen and women. So calm, so chilled out. He was in and just does work straight away. Nice and loose, works to a beautiful double leg takedown, flares the legs and lands in side control dominantly.
They train so hard in Team Lakai that fighting in the cage is easy.
And here we see the head scissor that Jeremy Pakatu was attempting, but all the while he maintained control. There's Mark Alcoba thinking, yep, that's it, I'm stood up, and straight away Jeremy Pakatu puts him back down, finishes the round so strong, takes the back, grapevines, and lands some heavy ground and pound from the back. Very dominant round from Jeremy Pakatu. I think his coaches in the corner are going to be saying to him, Jeremy, give us more of the same there.
That would be my advice, word for word. Son, Do it again. Cage door locked. Round 2. Touch of hands.
Round 2 starts.
I have to say, I'm really digging the custom of the announcer calling the round as well. Kind of feels like Mortal Kombat. Good head movement from Jeremy Packett, changes levels. Double head kick. And on a double, switches to the single. Beautiful hips from Jeremy Packett.
This really is a thing of beauty. Head movement, drawing the opponent in, level change, down, flaring the legs, passing guard on the ground. We're right back to where we were.
Transitions beautifully into side control, and again, slow, methodical pressure.
And again, an illegal elbow to the back of the head.
Needs to get the hips just a tiny bit lower to put a bit more pressure. They take the arm here. That's Nakamura. What I'd like to see him is dig his elbow into the ribcage.
And he's looking for the head scissor. There's the head scissor. There it is.
Yes, he got it. He may take the arm as well.
The knees are positioned only about a half inch from where they need to be to put the opponent out very, very quickly.
It's a very rarely seen submission in mixed martial arts, Kurt.
It does have to be that the center of the knees have to be directly on the carotid artery. Otherwise, it's miserable, but you don't go to sleep.
Back into north-south position here for Jeremy Packett.
Interesting to see if Jeremy Packett goes to side control and then mount, or if he's content to stay in north-south and try and pick an arm. It looks like he may be trying to take an arm home with him, throw some elbows along the way. Got to be careful with those knees near the back of the head.
Thought about it momentarily.
Intelligently decided not to.
Right back into side control, showing just how dominant a ground specialist he is. Mark Alcoba trying to do the right thing with the underhook, but gives up the back. Both hooks in.
Here comes the hip pressure.
Yes.
Here comes that hip pressure.
Beautiful flattening out by Jeremy Packett. Trying to dig one arm underneath the chin of Mark Alcoba.
Second hook is in. Submission attempt may not be far away.
Grabbing the bicep, may switch to palm on palm. Wrist control from Jeremy Packett.
Packett looking a little high. He's got confidence in he's got big confidence in his hips. Big confidence in his position. Out the back door looking for the arm.
Mark Alcoba does the right thing by keeping pressure and stacking. But what relentless wrestling from Jeremy Packett. Grabs the leg, straight back into the position.
Alcoba has got to be heartbroken at this point.
Just bench presses Jeremy Packett off him.
Here comes the arm in guillotine attempt. Front head looking for the back. Alcoba still in this fight.
Jeremy Packett perhaps got a little bit restless, trying to take a little bit careless, trying to take the back there. But again, in on that single from off his back, grabs the single leg. Wrestle, young man, wrestle.
Let no one say that Team Lakai fighters are only strikers. This is beautiful wrestling we're seeing.
Some of this great ground control might be attributable to the amount of time and training he gets in with our bantamweight champion, who we will see later tonight, Stefan Logan, himself a fantastic ground specialist. Option for knee on belly here. Mark Alcoba continues to turn that way. He may give up the back. But it seems that Jeremy Packett has an answer for every question that Mark Alcoba is asking of him.
It does, but Alcoba is still showing admirable strength.
Easy body being landed by Jeremy Packett.
Packett has an answer for everything Mark does, but he is still in this fight. This is mixed martial arts. Things can turn around in a second. Brave Nation, you're seeing excellent refereeing as usual. You are not allowed to put your toes into the fence. You can put your foot against the fence, but you can't stick your toes into it.
Ladies and gentlemen of the Brave Nation, if you're enjoying this fight as much as myself and Carrick Janis, use the hashtag BRAVECF22 on all social media platforms. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Let us know if you're enjoying the fights. Let us know what you think's going on. join the conversation, be part of the Brave Nation. Dominant positional finishing of the round here from Jeremy Pakatu. There we
End
go.
of round 2.
Another great round for the Team Lakai exponent.
Let's recap a little bit of the action. Switch head kick from Jeremy Pakatu, showing that he does have a diverse arsenal, an array of mixed martial arts attacks. Goes straight in, realizes that he wasn't in on the double leg, transitions straight away to the single leg. And we just see the repertoire of ground skills that Jeremy Pakatu has here. Looked like he was in a less than favorable position, but then off his back, switches the hips, grabs the single leg, and just charges with it. Carrick, what do you think Mark Alcoba's corner will be saying to him in between rounds going into the third here?
What they're going to be doing is trying to make sure his spirit stays strong. This is mixed martial arts. You can turn around to fight at any point, but you can't do it if your heart is broken, if your will is broken. So they're going to speak to him. They're going to talk about one thing he did right, one thing he did wrong, trying to get him to avoid the wrong one, stick with the right one, and hopefully get an opportunity to win this.
Leading into the third and final round, I think it's fair to say that Mark Alcoba will need a finish if he is to salvage anything out of this fight. That's that single again from Jeremy Pakatu. Looks for the trip double. Real work at the side control from Jeremy Pakatu.
I want to say quickly, Mark is a terrific fighter. You are not seeing a bad fighter here. You're seeing a terrific fighter. But Jeremy Pakatu has achieved so much international competition through Brave Combat Federation that right now I don't think he can be beat.
I think it's an illustration of just how good Jeremy Pakatu is, that he's able to do this to somebody like Mark Alcoba. See the work rate being up just a little bit from Jeremy Pakatu. I'm getting the feeling that he might want a finish in this fight. Transitions into the mount.
I do believe he would like to give his legions of fans here, absolutely, he would like to give them a finish.
Strikes again being landed by Jeremy Pakatu. I'd like to see him land that frame-off elbow he landed earlier.
Landed it twice straight down the center.
That was beautiful.
He may be throwing these looping shots as a diversion to set that one up.
To open something up, Carrick, yeah. Again, grapevine the legs. Just has his feet connected, not entirely grapevining the legs, just establishing a positional base. Grabbing the wrist. He's potentially set up a head-on triangle here if he slips his head to the side and isolates an arm.
I really would like to see Mark trying to escape this mount. At this point, without a shrimp, without hips, without a body lock, without a backdoor escape, with just turning over it.
He's giving up the back, but it's again, it's like we've alluded to in earlier fights. It's kind of a pick your poison scenario, Carrick.
It is, and now there's a figure four in the body.
And every time you exhale when you're in that body triangle, it gets a little bit tighter.
His miserable situation just got even more miserable, and he's still trying to strike. I love this fighter.
Jeremy Pakatu just maintaining that level of control, switches back into the hooks in instead of the body triangle, basing out and landing strikes. As you said, the intention of the strikes, these strikes aren't knockout strikes, but what they may do is change the head position of Mark Alcoba, giving Jeremy Pakatu perhaps a little bit of space to sneak in and on.
And let no one ever doubt the will and the strength and the heart of Mark Alcoba. He is still in this fight 100%.
Definitely, Carrick. As we've said many times, it only takes one moment. It only takes something to change, a switch of something.
There it is, that arm set up. Was denied. Mark now finds himself on. No! It's gone!
Gets the top straight away! Wow! Jeremy Pakatu with the biggest win of his career in the Philippines, in front of his countrymen, with a devastating armbar. What an illustration of dominance from the one, the only Jeremy the Juggernaut Pakatu.
Once again, Team Lakai showing they can do everything.
Let's just get a quick look at that finish one more time. Transitions from the back, bides his time. Hits the armbar. Beautiful work from Jeremy Pakatu. Just extends the hips, and it was on straight away. We can see that elicits the tap almost instantly. Fantastic work from Jeremy Pakatu.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, giving up in this epic battle of two great Filipino warriors. This bout comes to an end at 3 minutes and 6 seconds of the third round. Your winner by armbar, the Juggernaut, Jeremy Pakatu!
Jeremy, it looks like you're in the ring, you're in the cage fighting on your own, but you know, I know, you had a whole team behind you. You had a whole team in the Brave Cage with you. You proudly wear the red of Team Lakai. After that historic victory, what do you want to say to your coach, Mark Sangayo, and what do you want to say to your teammates?
Okay. Magandang gabi, Pilipinas! Okay, first of all, I would like to thank my Lord Jesus Christ for giving me strength, everything. And also I want to thank the fans, supporters, all of you guys here, Brave Combat Federation family, Sir Shahid, and especially to His Highness, Sheikh Khaled, thank you. And also to our sponsors who are always on our side since day one. My coach, Coach Mark, thank you for molding us. Thank you for believing in us, on us. Thank you for the motivations, the encouragement, and also to my seniors, my teammates, my seniors. So I would like to thank them, Team Lakay family, and sa lahat sa inyo. Maraming salamat.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Juggernaut, Jeremy Pakatu!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, can you feel the thunder? This is the co-main event of the evening. And let's bring out our first warrior into the Brave Cage. Representing Bali MMA in Bali, Indonesia, and fighting out of Auckland City, New Zealand, please welcome John Travel Bruin!
Carrick, here we go, co-main event time. And this is a fight that a lot of people have pegged as a potential fight of the night, and even in the early stages, a fight of the year contender. John Bruin, 4-1 as a professional, 3 finishes by way of KO. And what's really interesting about John Bruin is he's not even been a professional fighter for a year. In 11 months of being a professional, this is his 6th mixed martial arts fight. That's the kind of activity that keeps a fighter sharp. It's almost unheard of in the modern era, and I feel that fighters should compete with that kind of frequency to stay sharp.
Agree with you 100%. Before I get into the brass tacks about this fight, I want to give a big personal shout out to Smart, our network partner, and as well to Resorts World Manila, our entertainment partner. Again, thanks to Smart, our network partner, and Resorts World Manila, our entertainment partner. Returning to this fight, I do not believe that Trouble Bruin is the favorite in this fight. I think minute by minute, second by second, he's probably not going to be winning. But I know as a fact he can turn this fight around in any split second.
Speaking to John Bruin earlier in the week, I said, well, how do you feel about this fight? What do you think's going to happen? How do you feel about Cian Cowley? He looked me dead in the eye with steely determination and said, I believe I can stop anyone in the division.
In front of Brave Nation, he is seconds away now from getting that opportunity.
Brave Nation, join the conversation using the hashtag BRAVECF22 on all social media platforms.
This is almost spiritual.
And let's meet his opponent, representing SBG Ireland and fighting out of Dublin, Ireland. Give it up for Cian, the Warrior Cowley.
Carrick, there is an electricity in the air. There is almost like an anxious anticipation anytime we see Cian Cowley step into the Brave Arena. This is a young man who is relatively young in his mixed martial arts career at 2-1 with 2 finishes. But as a combat athlete, he has over 80 competitive matches in Muay Thai, in K1, in kickboxing, in cage Thai. Incredibly dangerous. As authentic a fighter as you will find on the globe.
And look who he's got in his corner. That's John Kavanagh. In the opinion of many people, very many people, what you're looking at right there is the greatest coach in mixed martial arts.
Cian Cowley, of course, is a multiple-time Irish Muay Thai champion, a multiple-time Irish K1 champion, and a former cage Muay Thai champion. But not only is he a striker, we've really seen the evolution of Cian Cowley in Brave Combat Federation. He illustrated great defensive wrestling against Daniel Olenchik in Belfast. He illustrated great ground and pound when he followed up with that leg kick and landed some heavy strikes on Hardeep Rai. A recent BJJ blue belt under John Kavanagh, so you can tell that he's really working on all aspects of his mixed martial arts game.
And there's blue belts and there's blue belts. There's average blue belts, and there's a John Kavanagh blue belt, an SBGI blue belt, and that is a different animal.
Ladies and gentlemen, there is a firestorm coming on our co-main event of the evening. 3 5-minute rounds in the lightweight division. Let's meet our first warrior. Fighting out of the blue corner, this man's a mixed martial artist with a professional record of 4 wins and 1 loss. He stands 185 centimeters tall and weighs already 70.3 kilograms. Representing Bali MMA in Bali, Indonesia, and fighting out of Auckland City, New Zealand. Give it up for John Trouble Bruin! And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, this man's a mixed martial artist with a professional record of 2 wins and 1 loss. He stands 188 centimeters tall and weighs already 70.3 kilograms. Representing SBG Ireland and fighting out of Dublin, Ireland. Give it up for Cian, the Warrior Cowley. For referee instructions, Thomas Fan.
Fantastic introduction.
Okay, guys, know the rules. Listen to me all times. Protect yourself all times. Touch cuffs now and make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Mall of Asia Arena is on its feet in anticipation of this fight.
Start of round one.
John Bruin opens up with the leg kicks.
Kian's going to answer with one.
And if you notice the way Kian Cowley throws a leg kick, there are leg kicks in mixed martial arts. And then there is the type of leg kicks that Kian Cowley throws. Classic Thai style, chopping right in, no tell on them.
Keep cutting him off.
Kian Cowley just keeping it at range. Both men look calm. Huge leg kick from Kian Cowley.
Spun his opponent 30 degrees around. That calf kick did cause a dent in that calf. Expect Bruin to throw that calf kick again.
Kian Cowley getting a little bit of timing on the kicks of John Bruin, starting to check a little bit.
There it is again, and answered.
Kian Cowley maintaining distance, just trying to stay out of punching range of John Bruin. But you see how subtle that Kian Cowley just changed, just turned the hip a little bit and gave the shin to John Bruin there.
These calf kicks were barely a factor 2 years ago in mixed martial arts.
But again, as we've seen, the sport, mixed martial arts is such a young sport, so it's a product of constant evolution.
It is. They're ending very many fights now.
That's great focus, King Cowley.
Killed a calf in the head, will die.
Everybody getting into this fight. John Bruin can't take too many of those, Carrick.
He cannot. These blows are visibly spinning his body 20 or 30 degrees.
A good stiff jab from John Bruin, but throws the straight, and Kian Cowley is like the boy that fell out of the tree. He simply wasn't there.
Keep that focus, Keith. Hey! That's great focus.
Very professional performance so far from Kian Cowley. You can already see both men are starting to get worked up from the exchange of leg kicks. Kian Cowley, John Bruin with the inside leg kick.
John Bruin wasn't the favorite going into this fight, but he absolutely is showing he belongs in here.
Yeah, these are both two real quality mixed martial artists. In some organizations, you wouldn't see two guys like this fighting at this stage of their career. But Brave Combat Federation believe in pitting the best against the best consistently.
I do believe Kian Cowley is starting to get a sense of his opponent's timing. We may see an increasing percentage of blows landing.
Cowley keeping John Bruin honest with backs. You may see John Bruin switch stances.
Looked like he was thinking about that shift for a moment there.
Nice jab work from John Bruin. He's landing the jab, but then by the time he throws it straight, Kian Cowley's out of the way. It's got a back fist attempt.
Audience loved it though.
Oh, big sweep from Kian Cowley. Transitions and potentially takes it back in the parterre position right now. They land a knee on the break.
Up to standing. Big props to both fighters.
This is a good position right now for John Bruin. Just pressuring Kian Cowley against the cage. Using great head control. Just gets his head underneath the chin of Kian Cowley. Because where the head goes, the body follows.
That's it.
They look at the trip takedown.
Illegal holding of the fence, but if the referee can't see it, it didn't happen.
Cowley needs to dig in for the underhook. That's the wizard on the right side.
Keep blocking with that left knee.
There's potential here for knees. John Bruin in on the double.
Pulling back up. That's beautiful.
Great wrestling from Kian Cowley.
Positions are reversed and reversed again.
Let's go.
Bruin showing tremendous strength in there.
20 seconds. 20
May
seconds.
Change levels here.
Wrist control that left
Knee
hand.
from John Bruin.
Good control, good control. Well done.
This may be the
Short time left, 10 seconds only.
This may be the kind of range at which John Bruin wants to continue this fight. But Cian Cowley showing some very competent wrestling from mixed martial arts and lands the elbow. Nice.
And
nice way to finish.
Fantastic round for both fighters.
Recap on some of the action. All about the leg kicks from Cian Cowley. It's a completely different style of leg kick, and I'm sure John Calvin enjoyed that. But John Bruin, much to his credit, was firing back with the leg kicks as well. Beautiful catch of the leg and sweep from Cian Cowley. And then John Bruin showing his own evolved game by getting back to his feet and pressuring Cian Cowley against the cage.
Cian Cowley looks more accomplished, more comfortable on the outside. John Bruin wrestling up against the fence, again, more confident, more comfortable. I think that's the fight he's going to try and make. Great sports.
Start of round 2.
Yeah, you want to sit it, John. I'm not going to give it to you like that.
Again, Cian Cowley just playing that
Nice
distance
hand
game.
positioning.
All in anticipation of crashing in that leg kick.
That's a beautiful shot. Good head movement. Yeah.
I think we're going to see a little bit more impetus from John Bruin to close the distance here, Kirk.
Bruin absolutely wants to try and get in the clinch up against the fence.
Yeah, you can see
Start
that.
working his game there.
You can see that with his footwork. He's trying to pressure Cian against the fence. Like Cian takes the ascendancy.
The legs are gone.
Beautiful stiff shot from Cian Cowley out of nowhere. That's the power this young man possesses.
Flash loss of the knees. Very smart, looking to get inside.
Cowley with the whizzer.
Could turn this fight around if he gets his opponent to the ground.
John Bruin takes the back, one hook.
There's one hook.
Very intelligent work from John Bruin. Cian. Oh, he has one. Oh,
the choke's in.
The chin. He's got palm to palm on it. Oh, this looks tight.
This is tight. And the Warrior is out.
Good work from Cian Cowley. Gets his double underhooks. May use them to disengage or go for the trip takedown. There's an opportunity here to land these. There's the leg for the trip.
There you control. Oh, hey. There the trip.
Thought about the trip, but lands the knee. Good balance from John Bruin.
Give me that head position. Yeah, knee position too. Cian, keep the head up.
There's an opportunity.
Right leg trip if you want.
Knees here. Needs to be
Everything in that underhook.
We're
looking strong here. There's your recovery. Get yourself
We've got the
ready.
great John Kavanaugh within reaching distance of it. He's, of course, offering brilliant advice to his fighter, telling him to keep that head safe. Don't sag it down too low. Try and giraffe fight to get the head in the inside.
Reverse his position.
Keep him up.
Maybe in on a single here. What's Cian Cowley's defense like?
Yes, good shot again.
His defense is to punch his opponent in the face.
Nice wrist control. Keep that wrist control.
Grabs the wrist control, very intelligent. Clearly listening to his corner.
Hey, position. Nice now.
John Bruin done the right thing by rolling the wrist. Good use of the whizzer from Cian Cowley. Pops up like a powered up Pac-Man.
Cowley can be taken down, but thus far he cannot be held down. Oh, these elbows to the head are
big elbows.
Those are brutal.
Nice thing from John Bruin. This is exactly where John Bruin wants to keep the fight carrying.
It was a nice knee attempt, but it was brilliant preemptive advice from John Kavanaugh to keep that head out of a position where it could be cleanly hit. That said, this is absolutely the fight that John Bruin wants. He wants to be in the clinch, up against the cage, trying to take his opponent down, take advantage of it from there.
Kian Khaled always alive in the fight, always looking for an avenue from which to land his strikes. Great use of the wizard. Great balance from Kian, but has he given up his back to John Bruin?
Beat him up, John. Beat him up, beat him up.
One hook in.
Maybe trying a broomstick takedown. There it is.
Just gets the instep against the outside knee.
He'll now either do a right claw, left underhook, or a body lock, and try and use that broomstick to take his opponent down to the mat.
Kian Khaled has that figure 4 Kimura grip. It's not only used for submissions, but it's also used for positional control.
Gave up on the broomstick. The warrior, Kian Khaled, now showing he's got a grappling game of his own, looking for a standing Kimura.
1 minute left in the second round here. A takedown would be huge for John Bruin at this stage. But again, good balance and defensive wrestling from Kian Khaled.
Keep that left elbow where it is. That's good pressure with that left elbow. Now we want to look for a left underhook.
This second round has been a chess match, Kurt.
I'm seeing John Bruin doing exactly what he needed to do, which is keep his opponent's hips up against the fence. Take a world-class striker, but if those hips are on the cage, those shots are no longer world-class.
Keep that wrist, head peeled, head peeled.
From both men. John Bruin just showing his fantastic sense of sort of positional wrestling and clinch work. But then in the same breath, Kian Khaled showing his wrestling astuteness by not being taken down.
This fight could be even.
Let's look at some of the action from our second round. That's the stiff shot from Kian Khaled that ever so slightly buckled the legs of John Bruin. And here we see the wrestling prowess of John Bruin, turning it into a clinch war. At one stage, that choke looked deep. And here we see the elbows by Kian Khaled just landing flush on the dome of John Bruin.
Phil, I do believe we're now 1-1 in this fight. I think whoever wins this round is going to be the one that keeps the fight at the distance he wants. Kian wants to be in the outside. If he can keep it there, he could even get a knockout. Trouble Bruin wants to be up against the cage. We should know in fairly short time whose will be done.
I really believe it's all to play for in this third round. Who wins this round wins the fight, Kerry. John Bruin just thinking about using the strikes and edging forward with every strike he throws. Khaled backed up exactly where he wants it. Oh, lovely step in knee there from Kian Khaled, using the momentum of John Bruin.
Bruin has clearly grown in confidence since that first round.
Circle off that cage a little bit more, because there's the shot from John Bruin.
And there's where John Bruin wants to be.
Khaled has the underhook.
And he's looking for the leg trip. He'll either take the leg trip or move towards the back, one or the other. He's very happy with either one. Oh, nasty elbows!
Kian Khaled still doing damage in that position by landing those elbows. Doesn't give the back up.
Bruin looked to do a back take on the opposite side.
Khaled needs to spin. Dig in for that underhook.
Get it to your chest. Okay, turn the elbow.
May even have cut John Bruin with one of those elbows to the side of the head.
I would be stunned if he didn't cut John Bruin with one of those elbows to the head.
Inside.
Referee's taking a long, hard look at this.
Go to the wrist.
Both chatting each other a little bit during the fight.
Kian needs to pummel in a little bit with that free arm and then try and reverse position and separate. He is not winning this fight from here.
Is John Bruin doing enough to maintain this position?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
Right now, he's got multiple directions he can go in. He can take the back on the near side, he can take the back on the far side, and he's got at least two separate takedowns he's looking for. He has turned this fight around.
Head position! Desperate to disengage. Halfway mark of the third round. What can Kylie do?
Kian needs to use that free right hand and pummel in. Once he gets inside control, he can use that wizard to reverse position. But right now he can't. The underhook trumps the wizard. He needs to control his opponent's arm, and he's not doing it.
2 minutes. Use your right leg. You gotta use your right leg.
As you say, Kieran, I'd love to see Kian Kylie just turn the wrist over and dig in for that underhook. Brilliant, not far off, double underhooks.
Keep that wrist. Keep that wrist. Look at that left. Circle your wrist. Circle your wrist. Make a circle. There you go. Now it's free. Yes, beautiful. Hey,
Kylie really wants to disengage here and keep the fight at the range that worked for him, but John Bruin quite simply is not letting him carry. Very intelligent display of mixed martial arts from John Bruin, doing exactly what he needs to do to be the dominant fighter in the third and final round here.
This is, as you put it, exactly what he needs to do. When you're faced with a better striker, you nullify the hips. All power comes from the hips, always has in combat sports. You nullify those hips by pushing them up against the fence. That's what you're seeing right here.
1 minute left. What can Kian Kylie do?
Beautiful. Beautiful. He's tired, Johnny. You put up the work right now, Johnny. Now we go, sir. Now we go. Now we go, Johnny. You got 50 seconds. Let's go. Give me everything you got, John.
Just to prevent the referee. Nice short elbow from Kian Kylie. As I said, John Bruin landing enough strikes to keep himself honest, to prevent the referee from breaking them up.
Counter if you feel it.
And he continues to switch his grappling attacks. Attacking the near leg, the far leg, attempting to take the back on both sides.
30 seconds left.
This was such an impressive game of mixed martial arts. Rock, paper, scissors.
10 seconds to go. Both men landing strikes in the clinch.
Short time.
Ladies and gentlemen, what we have just witnessed in our co-main event is an illustration of just how important wrestling is in mixed martial arts, just how dominant one can be when one implements a sound professional wrestling game.
This is what you saw. You saw why wrestling is the dominant martial art in mixed martial arts.
The most telling shots of the entire fight, with those leg kicks and with that stiff shot that buckled the legs of John Bruin. We are checking the replay, and every opportunity that Kian Kylie got, he was landing strikes. He was creating just enough space, either in the clinch, he was landing elbows, but John Bruin just stuck to Kian Kylie like glue. Great head positioning from John Bruin, and at the end, a fantastic show of respect from both men. Two of the best young mixed martial artists on the globe right there. Carlos Kramer's making his way to the cage, which means that we have a decision. So for the penultimate time tonight, let's send it over to the roaring lion of Brea, Mr. Carlos Kramer.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for both of these warriors in an incredible co-main event of the evening. After 3 rounds, we go the judges' scorecards. Your first judge scores about 30-27 Bruin. Your next judge scores about 29-28 Cowley. And your third judge scores about 29-28 for your winner by split decision, John Travel Bruin!
John Bruin gets the biggest win of his mixed martial arts career with a split decision victory over Irishman Keane the Warrior Cowley. An incredibly difficult fight to score. You had the virtuoso striking of Keane Cowley versus the effective wrestling game of John Bruin. But being perfectly honest, I don't think any fighter has lost any kind of stock in this kind of fight. Let's send over to Carrick for a word with the winner.
I had the honor and the pleasure of spending some time this week with your father. Your father flew a long way to watch you fight. The pride he had in his voice when he was talking about you is bringing tears to my eyes. In front of Brave Nation, what do you want to say to your father right now?
Oh, I love you, Dad. You know, I love my mom too, and I wish she could be here, but she's at home. I just want to take this opportunity to first mention the tragedy that's going on back home in New Zealand. So I walked out with this flag. I never knew how much strength the New Zealand people had. This is a really dark day in our history. We've never experienced something, this kind of tragedy, this kind of scale, this kind of violence, and this kind of hatred in such a beautiful place. And I just hope that we can work through this kind of stuff and we can make this world a better place. So that's what it's all about. And I want to give a huge thank you to my opponent, Kian. Man, to tell you the truth, if it wasn't for Kian, it doesn't matter that co-main event fell through. It wouldn't have been me in there. So I have to give a shout out to Kian and his team because they put me here and they gave me the shot alongside the good people at Brave, His Highness Shaikh Khaled, our president, the Hawk. This organization is amazing. They treat us fighters great. They have an amazing vision. And I hope that I can put on these kind of performances in the future on big shows like this and take you guys with me on this journey, you know. So thank you to all the fans. Thank you for everyone for this opportunity.
Your winner, John Trouble Bruin!
John Trouble Bruin with an absolutely fantastic win. And just to echo the sentiments there from John Bruin, our thoughts and prayers are with the people of New Zealand at this difficult time.
Manila, the Philippines. It's time for a main event of the evening. We're making history together, and let's make some noise! Let's bring out our first warrior, the challenger from La Bonico in Montpellier, France, and fighting out of Algeria. Give it up for the challenger, Elias Smile Boudinster!
Here we go. Main event time, Carrick. The bantamweight title of the world is on the line. Stefan the Sniper Loman defends his belt for a third time against one of the most dangerous men on the Brave roster. Elias Smile Bugdesdam. As we heard from Carlos Kramer in that VT, he has 15 wins, all of which have come by way of finish. 2 by way of KO, 13 by way of submission. 8 of those submissions have been triangles. In a room full of circles and squares, this man will find a triangle.
Bill, this fight and all these fights tonight have been made possible by the sponsorship of a very select, very great group of companies. The final 2 that I have to give a shout out to are the Tourism Board, our tourism partner, and of course, I have to say, Brave 22 is sanctioned by Philippines Game and Amusement Board, GAB. The thing after that I have to say is that Smile is one of the best people I've ever met in my life. Not just one of the best fighters, but one of the best human beings, as is his opponent. This is going to be a great fight between great human beings.
And let's bring out his opponent, the Brave Combat Federation Bantamweight Champion of the World, from Team Lakay, Baguio City, the Philippines. Please welcome Stefan Sniper Loman!
The champ is here! The champ is here! The champ is here! Stefan the Sniper Loman making his way to defend his belt for a third time. A professional record of 12-2. Currently riding a 6-fight win streak. He is the longest reigning Brave Combat Federation Bantamweight Champion. He is the only Brave Combat Federation Bantamweight Champion. He has that championship mindset. He has consistently fought the best competition global mixed martial arts has had to over. Beaten Franz Malambo twice, beaten Felipe Efrien. He welcomes all comers, he welcomes all challenges, and in my opinion, is the definition of champion.
Brave Combat Federation is making it rain indoors. We've got some extraordinary special effects here. The crowd is going crazy. They are swarming their champion with cameras. The champ is completely cool, calm, and collected.
A proud representative of Team Lakay. We see from the shorts there, which have become a trademark of the Team Lakay fighters. Trains with some of the best fighters, not only in the Philippines, but in the world. Trains with the likes of Jeremy Pagatu, Cristiano Pizpatunche, John Corton, Harold Bonario, Joe Marpack, and many, many more.
Phil, our Philippines versus the World tournament now stands at World 2, Philippines 2. If the champion, Stephen Loman, can win this, he wins Philippines versus the world for this event.
But if Elias Smile Bugdesdam wins, he becomes the first man in the history of Brave Combat Federation to win 2 world titles in 2 different divisions, Kerry.
Absolutely everything is on the line here.
Either way, history will be made. Tail of the tape, we see Stefan Loman is slightly taller. Both men made championship weight. Nothing left to do, but for the final time tonight, send it over to the roaring lion of Brave, Mr. Carlos Kramer.
Brave 22 Storm of Warriors Manila would like to thank our sponsors. Duo, our outdoor and branding partner. Abu Dhabi Sports, our official broadcast partner in the Middle East and North Africa. SM Tickets, our ticket partner. ESPN5, our official broadcast partner. Green Hill, official merchandise partner. Belmont Hotel, our hospitality partner. Dream World, our travel partner. Medical City, our medical partner. Smart, our network partner. Resorts World Manila, our entertainment partner. Tourism Board, our tourism partner. This main event is sanctioned by the Games and Amusements Board, the chairman, Abraham Khalil Mitra, and commissioners Edward Trinidad and Mar Mazangid, and chief of Contact Sports, Mr. June Batista. Our judges for this main event are Mark Craig, Clemens Werner, and Victor Wolf. And our referee is Mr. Thomas Bronder. Ladies and gentlemen, Manila, before we begin, I have one question for you, and one question only. Handa na ba kayo? Let's meet our first warrior, fighting out of the blue corner. This man is the challenger. He has a professional record of 15 wins and 5 losses. He stands 170 centimeters tall and weighs a ready 61.2 kilograms. Fighting out of Algeria, give it up for Elias Smile Budextam! And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. This man's a mixed martial artist with a professional record of 12 wins and 2 losses. He stands 174 centimeters tall and weighs a ready 61 kilograms. Representing Team Lakay in Baguio City, the Philippines. Please welcome the reigning, defending, undisputed Brave Combat Federation Bantamweight Champion of the World, Stephen Sniper Logan! For referee instructions, Mr. Thomas Bronder.
Okay, guys, you know the rules. Follow my instruction and protect yourself all time. If you want touch gloves, let's do it now. And back to the corner, please.
Let's make some noise, Manila!
Carrick, here we go for all the marbles. Bantamweight title of the world on the line. Wide base. Elias Budextam taking the fight to the champion. Elias Budextam can be so liberal with his striking. We see that sometimes with the way in which he throws leg kicks, because he doesn't mind being taken down because he's such a submission specialist. So that gives him confidence and gives credence to his striking.
Second deep kick landed. Third.
Big overhand, and then hook to overhand combination from Stephen Logan. Stephen Logan now taking the fight to the challenger. Catches the kick and takes him down. Elias Budextam takes the back, has one hook in.
Incredible timing. There's a second hook. There's a second hook. He's looking for the choke.
This is just how dangerous Elias Smile Budextam is.
That back take happened in a split second. The champ trying to fight the hooks now.
Champ staying calm. Just trying to just take one hook out there. Needs to be careful exposing that neck. Oh,
it's in.
He switches.
It's not!
Elias Big-Degstam is like a dog with a bone. Is that underneath the chin? It's across the face, but still incredibly painful, and can't enlist a tap as a face bar.
Stefan doing an extraordinary job of keeping the hands off his neck.
But listen to that crowd, just willing their compatriot to get out of the submission. And it seems to be working, but Big-Degstam right away tries to get that hook in.
Logan wisely pushing his hips up against the fence so his opponent can't take the back.
Logan trying to dig in for an underhook on the left side of Elias. But I think straight away we've seen what the game plan is of the challenger. Because as soon as he had one small opportunity to take positional control and look for submission, he did it. And here he goes again.
If the champ can get that left arm between him and his opponent, he's out! And he did it! Crowd goes crazy!
I was going to ask you, do you think dropping a further 10 pounds from featherweight to bantamweight would affect the performance of Elias Big-Degstam? But right now, he looks fantastic.
I do have to say, he looked better after this cut than he did when he cut his formerly normal weight division. I think that because of the help of George Lockhart, the team from George Lockhart, he's done a fantastic weight cut, and he's in perfect condition.
Yeah, the best dietitian team in the business. This needs to be careful with that head position. Brings it right back up and underneath the chin of Stefan Logan. Champion defending well.
Team Lakai fighters extremely hard to take down, harder to keep down.
Smile looking to maintain that clinch and just creep around the back. Logan wise to it. Uses the wizard just to keep Elias from taking the back. May use it to snap down if he creates a little bit of space.
Elias, having come down from featherweight, does appear to be the stronger fighter.
Interesting decision from the referee.
I wouldn't have made it, but I'm not the referee.
Already a little bit of marking up in the eye of Elias. Stefan Logan, that break just came at the right time for him, putting the pressure on the challenger.
Smile's face is getting marked up, but remember, his face always gets marked up. Doesn't seem to stop him.
Oh, overhand to uppercut the hook. Stefan Logan is putting it on the challenger, Elias Big-Degstam. Big-Degstam shoots in, but well defended by the sniper.
Incredibly, Big-Degstam is now on the attack. Looking to take the back, switching it up with knees to the face. Back to the back take. And they're separated. This is not where Smile wants to be. Time!
Wow! What an opening round of mixed martial arts action. Now let's catch up on some of the action from that frenetic first round. Elias Big-Degstam catches the kick and lands a strike, and this is where we see the game plan of Elias Big-Degstam start to unfold a little bit. Fantastic positional control, gets the hooks in, and then he's relentless looking for that rear naked choke. Then look how Stefan Logan just changes levels there, Carrick. This big overhand to hook combination, forcing the challenger to shoot in for a takedown, which the sniper defends. Frenetic pace of our very first round. It's going to be very interesting to see if this kind of pace can be maintained by these two gladiators in the Brave Arena.
There are some relative intangibles that are required to compete at this level, and one of them is the ability to take a shot. Smile can take a shot.
Unquestionably. There we go.
Start of round two.
Round two of the scheduled 5. Stefan Logan really utilizing that Muay Thai style teep, that push kick to keep Elias Smile Budegs down at range. There it is again. Needs to be careful that he doesn't go to the well with it too often, because it may get caught and we may see a repeat of what happened in the first round.
Very nice short inside low kick, broke the opponent's base.
Nice head movement from our champion. Really big hook landed.
There's that push kick again. That may end up being a decisive factor in this fight.
It's intelligent, and he's obviously watched footage on Elias, and his team have watched footage. You want to keep someone like that at distance. Nice slip straight from our champion. Works the body into the team. Beautiful kick to the body.
That liver shot hurt Smile.
Stefan Logan showing with those combinations just why he's considered by many to be one of the premier bantamweights in the world. See the way Stefan Logan changes levels and then throws that overhand.
There was the timing you talked about. Got to be careful with those high-low kicks. Should stick to the low kick to the calf.
Stefan Logan trying to keep his back from being against the cage there. What a battle these two guys are engaged in. The referee doesn't call it. Don't stop, gentlemen. Beautiful kick to the body from Stefan Logan after landing a flush overhand.
Avance avec tes points. Ah, c'est toi qui dois commencer.
His body shots are going to start adding up. Body shots in MMA are money in the bank. Hit somebody in the head, 10 seconds later they're okay. Hit him in the body, 10 seconds later they're not. Hit him in the body 10 times, and it can start to turn this fight around.
Stefan Logan is doing an expert job of just keeping Elias at the end of his punches, using that teep kick, not allowing him to close the distance and take him down. As soon as Stefan Logan senses that his back's against the cage, you can see him circling off using expert footwork. There it is.
Allez, boxe, mon frère, boxe. Boxe, Inès. Laisse pas te cadrer. Tourne sur la gauche. Allez, avance.
Allez. Voilà.
Smile Budegs now. If his plan is indeed to take the champion down, he needs to set that up with striking. Stefan Logan digs for the underhooks. But again, Smile is relentless. And on that double leg, switches to the single to the high crotch. Stefan Logan implements the knee shield. Smile really is putting everything into this takedown attempt.
Absolutely fantastic defense from the champion, and he's using far less strength to do this than is the challenger.
Smile again switches to the single leg. Lets it go.
It might look like the sniper is losing some of these exchanges because he's being defensive, but he is starting to suck the energy out of his opponent.
Yeah, he's forcing Budegs down to really do the work here.
Back take! We got the beginnings of a back take.
That to me speaks to just how dangerous Elias Budegs is. Stefan Logan trying to keep his back off the cage, doesn't want to get taken down.
Incredible scramble. Smile even had a hammerlock at one point.
The Filipino crowd are absolutely loving this. Budegs down, pulls guard.
Oh! Shots are raining down hard. This is a typhoon.
But this is where Smile is dangerous. Stefan Logan is in deep water, and Elias Budegs is a shark. And Stefan Logan happy to play this game, landing relentless ground and pound. Watch out for the triangle. Great defense from Stefan Logan. He was aware as soon as Elias Budegs grabbed the wrist and went to stop it down.
The best defense against the triangle is don't get into it.
do we see just how dangerous the striking is of our champion, Stefan Loman. Changing levels, working the body, as you said, Carrick, an investment. But then we see the savvy of Elias Smile Bugdegstam, a man that's happy to pull guard whilst looking for that submission. At one stage, he grabbed the wrist, tried to pop it down for the triangle, but Stefan Loman, acutely aware of it, postured up and landed some nasty ground and pound. 2 rounds in the bank so far, Carrick.
2 rounds in the bank, and I think I'm going to have a heart attack. This fight is absolutely incredible. Just when you think the sniper has this fight in the bag, Smile manages to turn it around.
See Bugdegstam wearing the fight a little
Start
bit.
of round 3.
Stefan Loman again with that awkward movement. Popping that southpaw jab. I like what he did there, use that jab to hook combination with the same hand.
Each fighter has an incredibly dangerous attack.
Nice work from Smile.
The sniper comes in with potentially fighting. Just like that one!
Thunderous
The knees
overhand.
are gone! You
And
know
again.
what's gonna happen next!
Stefan Loman just landing an absolute barrage of punches. Lead uppercut, kick to the body.
Huge shots coming from angles. Props to the sniper for not going crazy. He's choosing his shots.
But Elias Bugdegstam himself showing championship heart, showing championship mettle by staying in the fight.
These men are both champions.
Again with the overhand. Stefan Loman really has found his range with that overhand, hasn't he?
Yes, he has. As he has to the body.
He's coming in from that southpaw position. That overhand's right there. Very intelligent work and exploiting the fact that he's a southpaw. Into the body again.
These body attacks are brilliant and very rarely seen in mixed martial arts.
I like the consistency with which Stefan Loman is throwing the attacks. He works the head, he works the body, then he works the legs.
And he's working at angles. He comes straight to the body, loops it to the head, circles from the outside to the outside of the calf, inside of the thigh.
He's always keeping Elias Bugdegstam guessing. As soon as Bugdegstam thinks he has a little bit of a read on him, he goes to town, goes to the body, then the head.
His best shot actually seems to be that uppercut. If he can instantly follow that uppercut with a hook, it could be a fight ender. Very accidental, low blow.
Elias Bugdegstam keeps everybody honest by saying, yep, I'm good to go.
Smile's a bad man, didn't choose the opportunity to take a rest.
So that constant changing of the levels to keep Elias Smile Bugdegstam guessing. Great work from champion Stefan Loman.
This is absolutely a brilliant striking attack from our champion, the sniper, Stefan Loman, but he got time. He's still standing.
You can actually hear the pop of that landing to the body.
It's starting to get that cricket bat on a melon sound to it.
The leaping hook from champion Stefan Loman. Trying to defend his belt for a 3rd time in the Brave Arena. Riding a 6-fight win streak, the longest reigning champion in Brave Combat Federation history, and the only bantamweight champion in the history of the organization.
I wonder if Loman's wondering what he's got to do to take this guy out of here. He's hit him left, right, up, down, and center. Smile is still standing right in front of him.
Oh, 3 straight shots to the body.
And there's that uppercut.
Stefan Logan, showing just what a well-rounded mixed martial artist he is by tying together an entire striking arsenal. Leaping overhand from challenger.
Logan changing levels, attacking at angles, hitting the body and the legs and the head, left side and right. This is absolutely brilliant striking.
Potentially we're looking at Stefan Logan up 3 rounds. Again to the body. But credit to Smile because he's taking these shots and he's not even wincing.
Smile is actually looking a little more confident than he was 5 minutes ago.
Overhand from Smile, but then kept at bay by that beautiful teep kick.
Time!
Let's recap on a little bit of action in our 3rd round. Massive overhand. Level change to overhand left from Stefan Logan. Full credit, as I said, to challenger Elias Smile Budegstam for eating that shot. May have been the few shots that Elias Smile Budegstam landed in that 3rd round. But there we see work to the body. Real diverse striking from champion Stefan Logan. Into the championship rounds we go.
Brave Nation, these championship rounds are grueling beyond description. Even a highly, highly trained fighter cannot handle the 4th and 5th rounds.
Start of round 4.
Both men incredibly well conditioned and have gone the full distance in championship fights in their previous fights. Stefan Logan, of course, with that win over Felipe Efrian. Elias Smile Budegstam, a courageous but ultimately losing effort against Bubba Jenkins. Stefan Logan looks calm. Maintains that wide base to defend the takedown should Elias shoot. Stefan Logan is so light on his feet. It's not unlike a professional dancer, just being able to cover distance and get out of the way.
A professional dancer or perhaps a fencer. This is beautiful footwork. Beautifully timed inside kick caused a slip. Answered with the same thing. Phil, I love it when something happens to a fighter and the fighter answers with the exact thing that happened.
As if to say, anything you can do, I can do. There's that teep kick again. The inside leg kick is open for both men as an orthodox fighting southpaw fighter. You may see Elias step up the frequency with which he throws that shot.
Smile's body Smile's core is starting to resemble the color of the shorts of his opponent. Those body shots have to be taking a toll at this point.
Yeah, he can't absorb too much more of that kind of punishment, Kirk. Stefan Logan showing how much of a professional he is, just in and out, landing his strikes. Hasn't really been in any surmountable trouble since the 1st round. Just as I say that, Elias Smile Budegstam in on the takedown. Stefan Logan splits his base wonderfully, making himself as big as possible. He cannot let Elias Budegstam connect his hands.
Got a pretty tight underhook. Smile wisely switches to a single.
Gets that leg between his legs. Now look to run the pipe on it and switch to the high crotch. So this is exactly where Elias wants to be. Hooks the leg.
There's the very beginnings of a back take.
Stefan Logan showing his championship mentality by turning in, being wise to the offense of Elias Smile Budegstam.
You see those fingers slide through the fence, invisible to the referee. That's high-level gamesmanship right there.
Both men to fire off knees. Logan does.
This is the game Smile wants. He wants to get his opponent back up against that fence, defending takedowns. Then he wants to get the takedown, take the back, finish the fight. That is his route to victory.
Big tags down, just showing real mettle and tenacity by going in on that takedown. They look to grab the ankle.
Incredibly tiring to be tight in on a high double like this with a head stuffed. Absolutely incredible condition being shown by Smile.
But he's keeping the champion guessing by switching from that double to the single. Stefan Logan digging in for his underhooks. He's going to try and circle off. But Smile doesn't let him, closes the distance further.
Smile's using that head brilliantly as if it was a third hand to control his opponent up against the cage.
Stefan Logan has gone the distance in each of his championship fights, so this is nothing new to him. This is where he really thrives.
Referee separated and clap. Crowd loves it. I'd like to see the champion with a little bit more distance between his back and the cage.
Just as you say that, he circles off and takes up residency in the center of the cage. It's absolutely crazy how fresh Stephen Logan looks right now. He's just about to complete a 4th round of fighting in the Brave Arena. Oh! He dropped him! Is this the end?
This has to be the end!
Huge strikes being landed by the champion.
Oh! It's over! It is over! That was the end!
Unbelievable from the champion. Stefan the Sniper Logan just bided his time, landed his strikes until he landed that one devastating knockout punch. Follows up with a barrage of punches. Shows what a gentleman he is by looking at the referee while he's landing those strikes. Devastating performance, devastating championship win, and still Real Combat Federation Bantamweight Champion of the World, Stefan the Sniper Logan. Ladies and gentlemen, let's see that one more time. Beautiful straight left. Throws the uppercut, just misses, and then boom, overhand. Just separates Elias Smile Bugdegstown from his senses. Follows up with a barrage of punches and elbows. And here we see him look at the referee as if to say, I don't need to hit this man anymore, it's done. Beautiful performance, the heart of a champion, the actions of a gentleman. Oh, the more you see that shot, the more devastating it looks. Beautiful left hand from the champion. The courageous effort from Elias Smile Bugdegstown, coming all the way down to bantamweight. There we see Logan's parents just absolutely full of joy, full of pride, much like everyone here in this arena. Ladies and gentlemen, for the final time tonight, let's throw it up to the roaring line of Brave. The one, the only, Mr. Carlos Kramer.
Ladies and gentlemen, what an incredible main event! Manila! Give it up for both of these warriors! This fight comes to an end at 4 minutes and 59 seconds of round number 4. TKO due to strikes, and your winner, and still the Brave champion of the world, Stephen Sniper Logan!
Of this great nation that I'm so honored to be in. One of the great strengths of the Philippines is love of family. I'm choking up. This fight was for someone who's very special. I'd like, if you would, to talk to Brave Nation about who you dedicated this fight to.
First of all, I want to thank the Lord for the strength tonight, and all of you, my kababayans here who support me. Thanks so much for your love and support your Filipino bands, and still we have the belt here in our Philippines for the first time. And I want you to thank your Highness for this event and the Brave for coming here. I would like to dedicate this fight to all of you, my kababayans, my family, my teammates, and all my kababayans, all of you. And of course, I want to dedicate the fight to my uncle Jimmy Nabehet, who just passed on March 1. He was an accident at the part of the NLEX. He was hit and run by a car, and still, if you have any evidence of any dashcam, just message me in the Facebook, and of course, you have an award for the leading information. And that's it. I don't dedicate the fight to all of you. Thanks so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, your hero and mine, Stephen the Sniper Logan!
Brave Nation, Manila, what an incredible night. It's been an absolute honor for us to be here. You guys have been amazing. Mahal Kokayo, Manila! Thank you to His Excellency, President Duterte, for making this all possible. Thank you on behalf of His Royal Highness, Shaikh Khaled bin Hamad Al Khalifa, and brave President, the Hawk Mohammed Shahid. Manila, we did it! We made history together! Team Lakai, Stephen Logan, and still the Brave Combat Federation Bantamweight Champion of the World. It couldn't have ended any better for all of us. Thank you. Salam alaikum.
Choked off the shore, it's the favor. But if you really
I'm up.